Hello and welcome to episode 31 of the 71st Hour Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jamie, and as always, joined by Ben and Nathan. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Good. There's no words today. You
I
didn't.
forgot the adjective this
You
time.
forgot
Yeah,
the
it's been.
adjective.
It feels like it's been so long since I've hosted that.
Yeah, true.
I fucked up the in my mind. I was like second guessing the intro,
Yeah,
and I
well,
just like
I
had to get through it
saw-
as quick as possible.
I saw there was like a hesitation. I'm like, oh shit, am I hosting today?
There was
Like,
a
I was
hesitation because I was like, because I had the same thought where I was like, well, I did the document, so that means
Yeah.
I'm hosting, but we didn't discuss it, so
Yeah, exactly. So,
I was like, I'll just say the words and hope that it's right.
yeah.
But how you guys doing? Had a good week?
Chilling.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, tired.
For some reason, I feel like it's been like years since we did an episode. I don't know
It
why
has
this
been a
week feels like
really
it went
long week.
so.
Yeah, it's
So we
really
picked up an
long.
extra full-time job this week.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, exactly. That's very, very, very true. Yeah, between Starfield and my job, I worked 90 hours this fucking week. Like, it's been a bit, and trust me, the majority of those hours, not the job, not the
job,
actual paying
yeah.
job. Yeah. So obviously we've got a ton of news. I say a ton of news. We've got some.
Four things.
We got four things, but four things that may spawn some conversation. Maybe not. I already know one of them is not, but it's just for me, so I had to put it in here.
You had to put it in.
Let's start. So we're going to start with hotfix this week, just because I imagine Nathan and I will have a lot to say about Starfield after a beating the game, but also playing many hours this past week. So that's going to be the main topic. So we'll get into the news to start. So I'm so out of my fucking. I'm so off. Like I'm
You're
just
trying to
completely
like
off.
move on to the next topic, but you keep hesitating.
Yeah, I keep like not getting like a segue at all. I'm just
Yeah.
like stilted moving through it. So the Zelda producer says that there are no plans for Tears of the Kingdom DLC. This is from Polygon. Don't expect the expansive sky, surface, and subterranean settings of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom's Hyrule to grow any further. Zelda series producer Eiji Aonuma says in a new interview that the development team behind Breath of the Wild and its expanded open world sequel has no plans to release new content for the latest Zelda game. In that interview with Japanese gaming publication Famitsu, Aonuma and Tears of the Kingdom game director Hidemaru, man,
Oh, that's a name.
the Tears of the Kingdom game director discuss the future of Zelda and their most recent work. Aonuma tells Famitsu that he feels like he's done everything to create fun in the world of Tears of the Kingdom, and that he and that man are looking for the...
Fujibayashi.
It's just it's a lot. Like I could probably spell it out, but it's fine.
Fujibayashi.
I'm looking for the next fun experience. Aonuma and Fujibayashi. Oh fuck, man. Certainly don't rule out. I'm sorry, I'm butchering this guy's name. Certainly don't rule out returning to Hyrule again for an all-new adventure. But both imply that whether it's a direct sequel or a brand new Zelda game, it will focus on new gameplay mechanics. Obviously, I feel like the next game in the Zelda franchise will have new mechanics. I mean,
Imagine
that's...
it's just Tears of the Kingdom again. It's just
Yeah, they just do the same thing again.
yeah.
What do you guys think about this? Do you think this is like the right move? Are you
Did they-
surprised
did
that
they
there's no
do
DLC?
DLCs for Breath of the Wild?
Yes,
They did.
there were
Okay.
two DLC packs for Breath of the Wild.
Interesting. Yeah,
They
that's-
weren't super significant. I never got around to them.
I never bought them or played them. I didn't even know they were there, honestly.
I know there was one of the like the drops was like the new master mode. Like there was a harder difficulty you could do. And I know there was some story stuff that you could, like the last drop they did, and then there was the motorbike. There was some stuff. They added some stuff to Breath of the Wild, but as I said, I never got to it. Yeah, I mean, are you surprised by this? That Tears of the Kingdom's not going to get any DLC?
Oh, I didn't think that any Zelda game had DLC until I just heard that now. So no, I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, no, I wasn't surprised as well until you said that. I didn't think Breath of the Wild had DLC, so
Yeah, I think it just was that expectation because Breath of the Wild had it. And I don't think another Zelda game has had. I mean, at that, but previous to Breath of the Wild, I feel like Nintendo wasn't really on like the online train with like
Yeah.
expanded
Yeah,
DLC
true.
for games anyway. So
I think this is the right creative decision, but maybe not the right business decision, which I respect more.
Yes,
So,
correct.
I'm
I
happy
mean,
with
I
to
was
be
gonna say the
fair,
same thing.
like I don't know. I feel like DLC is weird where I feel like the vast majority of people who play like the base game don't play the DLC for
Probably.
these games.
Yeah,
Like, and I've we'll talk about it a little bit later, but like with Final Fantasy 16. But yeah, like I just don't think like you've already got a very small amount of players that actually finish games, right? They buy the game, they don't necessarily like it's like ranges from like 20 to 30% of players, and I mean, Tears of the Kingdom, there's probably way less because it's so big. And so then you have to have the people that finish the game and feel like they want more, then buy the DLC. So it's like you're whittling down, you're filtering down through the player base to a point where it's like it's probably not like it may be worth it. I don't know. Like I don't know if they really get a massive return on DLC sales.
Yeah, because as you said, like especially people that finish it. Let's say you finish Tears of the Kingdom. Once you beat that, I don't imagine you want to do another playthrough to do a DLC unless it's like a while later. You know what I mean? Like,
And I was gonna say the bad thing with well, not the bad thing, but the different thing with Zelda games is that you only have one save file. So if
oh
you do a
shit,
new
okay.
game, you lose your original save.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, with Breath of the Wild, the DLC was additive. Like you could just, well, Breath of the Wild ends like when you finish the game, it sends you back just before you fight Ganon. And then the DLC was additive, so you could just walk out into the world and find the content.
Mhm.
But yeah, I guess the thing for me is like Tears of the Kingdom is so full of content, and there's still stuff that I haven't done in that game yet. Like there's still shrines that I haven't done. There's still plenty of like armor sets and different things and side missions I haven't completed. That I'm really not super surprised that there's no DLC for this.
Yeah.
I guess it is a little weird with especially with what that Breath of the Wild did, but I think they filled Tears of the Kingdom with so much stuff that like I can understand them being like we put everything we wanted to in this game, and there's really no reason or a creative reason to continue, and they just want to move on to the next thing.
Yeah. And that
I was
means next game comes sooner as well. That's what that means as
That's
well,
what I was
right?
gonna say. Do you think it means the new Zelda game, like the next Zelda game, will come sooner?
Well, what was the gap between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom?
6 years?
6 years? I could see maybe a year sooner, but that's it. I don't see it being like 2 years in the future. You know what I mean? I don't see
There's
it
also
being
the thing,
much.
like I'm pretty sure the team that did Tears of the Kingdom probably didn't do the DLC for Breath of the Wild. They probably split it up a little
That's
bit.
true. That's true.
Nintendo's weird where you really don't know what teams are working on what games because a lot of the time they just say developed by Nintendo. They don't have like there's not really like developer names internally.
Yeah, exactly.
They probably got a lot of movement internally, I'd say.
Yeah.
People
Definitely.
just being assigned random things at random times. Be like, you're working on this now.
I was gonna say you feel like you won the lottery if you get to work on the next
Yeah.
Zelda game. It's like, oh yeah, you're working on the sequel to the one of the people say is the greatest game of all time. Good luck, have fun.
Yeah, have fun, do it.
And just the bug. Oh, I can't even imagine the development of Tears of the Kingdom.
bugs
Like
and everything.
the bugs and the bug fixing. I mean, they already said like Aonuma said in an interview like just before Tears of the Kingdom released, like they finished the game last year, at beginning of last year.
Shit.
And then the last 12 months up to release was just bug fixing.
Holy
And it really
shit.
shows.
Yeah.
And so I can imagine like with the DLC then being like, no, we've made like almost a perfect game. We should just leave it because like
Yeah.
we don't want to like hamper the experience. And really, I don't think there is anything they can really add to this specific game that would make it better.
Yeah, I would say that anything they would add would take away from it for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
And like the thing with Breath of the Wild, like they added the bike, and it was like, okay, traversal doesn't feel as like important now that you can just drive everywhere. There was a fuel aspect to it, but yeah, it definitely did. It just made it easier to move around the world, and so it sort of like negated a lot of what Breath of the Wild was. So there is that kind of like hampering the experience with new DLC content. But yeah, I'm just excited for the next thing, whatever they do. Do you think it's going to be a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom or a whole new
It's gonna be
like
Battle
totally new art style
It's gonna be a battle
story
royale.
in Zelda?
How did Tears of the Kingdom end again? Kill
well,
Ganon.
yeah, yes, yeah. So we killed Ganon, and then I honestly don't really.
There's not much room for going further for that.
That was sort of Breath of the Wild as well. Like it sort of ended, and it was like that's the end. You know, it felt like an ending. And so and to be fair, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they're like connected, but sort of. You know what I mean? Like they're not super connected in a way that you would expect from a typical
I
direct
think
sequel.
they definitely made it clear that this was like Ganon's final form in this universe, though, and that
That
there
is
wasn't
true.
too much further to go from that.
But you could also sort of feel that like Breath of the Wild was almost Ganon's final. Like that's just like there was no expectation that Ganondorf was going to be
Yeah, I suppose
in
at
the
that
sequel.
time.
Yeah.
But this time, I mean, come on, man, look at him.
I mean, true. It is true. It is very true. But maybe they
Also,
do like
when he died, I mean that was like they kind of made that clear that when you die in that form, that's the end.
they could probably do.
Yeah.
They could pull out a
They could
sequel
come
if
up
they
with some
wanted to.
reason. I don't know.
And it
but
would be cool to have like a trilogy. You
Yeah.
know, everyone loves the threes. You know, everything ends in a trilogy. But I'm really curious, like what they do next. Like, is it gonna be? I would love like a whole new art style. Like if maybe they go back to Toon Link. You know, maybe they go that route. Go back to the old Wind Waker days.
Mhm.
I don't know. It'll be very, very interesting to see. And I'm assuming it'll be on the next Switch. So it'll look very nice, hopefully running at 60 FPS. But we'll get to the next Switch in a little bit. Do we want to move on to the next story?
Mhm.
Sounds like Bethesda's Indiana Jones game will be revealed in 2024. This comes from Video Games Chronicle. Announced in January 2021, the title is in development at Machine Games, the Swedish studio behind the modern Wolfenstein games. I'll switch over to it. There we go. Bethesda game director. It doesn't say Todd Howard. Todd Howard, who is serving as executive
Just
director,
Howard.
Howard.
who is serving as executive producer on the Indiana Jones game, briefly commented on the project at the end of an Esquire interview published to coincide with today's Starfield release. Obviously, this was a couple of days ago. I'm a giant Indiana Jones fan, he said. It can be brought to video games in a unique way. The game is obviously, you're exploring stuff. It's about him. So if you're playing the game, how do you feel that you were indeed playing versus just watching? What the fuck is that quote? What does that even mean?
So you are playing the game. How do you feel that you are indeed playing?
I get what he's saying,
watching? Yeah,
but-
it's
Sure.
a very weird way of saying it. Yeah.
It was just, I'm sure there was some pauses there, like that made
Yeah.
it more natural, but it
Yeah.
sounds like it was AI generated.
Yeah.
According to the report, Howard wasn't allowed to reveal more about the game, but as the interviewer left his office, he added, "We'll talk next year." So I'm curious, what are your guys's like affinity with Indiana Jones? Have you seen the
Oh,
movies?
I
Do you
love the
like Indiana
newest one.
Jones?
Love the newest one.
I thought the newest one was supposed to be good, wasn't it?
The new one was actually pretty good. I'm on the
Well,
I'm
Dial
on the
of
camp of the
Destiny.
new one actually. Dial of Destiny was pretty good.
I thought it was okay.
Well, the thing is, here's the thing, right? There's a thing that happens in the movie that either you love it or you hate it. And I was on the love it camp. And I can
I-
understand why people hate it, but I think it
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense for that character.
Yes.
I don't want to go too deep into it.
No,
I mean, it
no,
only just
we're-
came out,
we're-
and not
yeah.
many people watched it because it fucking bombed
I-
at the box office.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I really enjoy Indiana Jones. I love the original
yeah.
trilogy. I love Dial of Destiny. I'm glad that they're not making any more of those movies because Harrison Ford needs to rest. He is
he
too
does.
old.
He does.
He's very old, and I think he just needs to do some dramas now. Do some dramas. Do some slow moving character pieces, and maybe not action movies.
I yeah, I watched the original 3. I remember that when I was young, one of my favorite was actually Crystal Skull, which I heavily disagree with now. Hate that.
Oh my
movie
god,
now.
you so not even part of the original 3, the fourth
Yeah,
movie.
no, but like I really like the original 3, but I remember because I started
Sure.
with Crystal Skull. I started with that one. That was the first one.
Wow,
and I
I'm
went
surprised you
back
just
to the
you
original
just
3.
stopped there.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
And then
Jesus.
I went back to the original 3, and then recently saw Dial of Destiny. But I really, yeah, I've always enjoyed the Indiana Jones movies. Like, and I rewatched the original 3 recently, and like, yeah, they're really good, man. They're really good.
Dude, Raiders of the Lost Ark is such a
Oh, it's
fantastic
so
film.
good, man.
Um,
What I love most about Indiana Jones is that like usually in movies like that, the person is like, you know, like they're like a badass soldier, you know what I mean? It's like that. Indiana Jones is just kind of he does the job, but he's just kind of there.
He's just
you
a
know what
guy.
I mean?
He just
a
wants it in a
dude.
museum. You know, he
Yeah,
just wants
exactly.
these artifacts. He wants to steal these artifacts for the good of man, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Which is cool, and I like how he's just a guy. He's not a good fighter really or anything like that. He's just a dude. Like
I'm really curious how they're going to translate the character of Indiana Jones into a video game,
yeah, exactly.
especially considering Machine Games' previous work where it is just
Wolfenstein, yeah.
Wolfenstein, bloody violence, like
Mhm.
killing Nazis. I mean, I guess Indiana Jones is killing Nazis.
Yeah, he is constantly doing it.
But I'm curious, like, you imagine you're not going to be playing like this. Like, Indiana Jones
No,
isn't going to
yeah.
be walking
It's
around
not
and fucking
Doom
hacking
guy.
people's necks off and, like,
yeah, it's
shooting
not
them.
Doom guy, you know what I mean? Like
And I think there was a rumor that the Indiana Jones game will be a mix of third person and first person, which is interesting. I'm
That's
not sure
cool.
how that would
That's cool.
work. Maybe
Yeah.
when you're using the whip, it's third person. When you're using a gun, it's first. I'm not
It
sure.
goes like to first. Yeah.
Um, But like, I'm almost like thinking, like we've got Uncharted, so it's like, okay,
yeah,
that sort of
imagine it'd be
is
like Uncharted, right? Like,
and Tomb
yeah.
Raider. They're sort of
But-
the Indiana Jones games we currently have.
But the thing is that like going first person usually means that you are doing more shooter. You know what I mean? Usually what that means. So,
Sure.
but those are third person games which are more adventure-esque.
True.
So,
More puzzle. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
there'll be a ton of puzzles in the
there
Indiana
will be
Jones game.
100%. But yeah, I am interested on how they're gonna take it because I hope they don't go into just the Wolfenstein Doom route of he's killing everyone because I feel like that's
I have
just gonna-
faith because like Machine Games, one of the most underrated developers out there. Like the
Yeah.
Wolfenstein games,
are really good.
except for Youngblood, which is the only one that Nathan's played because we both played it.
No, I played them all.
You played all the Wolfenstein games?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Why don't? Okay.
I own at least 2 of them on Steam, and
Oh,
I
okay.
have played the others.
Well, there you go. I didn't realize that. Yeah, so discounting Youngblood, which I take that more, it's like Bethesda management when they were trying to do all the live service shit, like Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Like Wolfenstein, New Order, and Old Blood and New Colossus. Yeah, those subtitles are really hard to remember because
Yeah,
they're
it's really
the
hard
new
to
and old stuff. Yeah, really enjoyed those 3 games. I hope we get a Wolfenstein 3 at some point because Wolfenstein New Colossus kind of ends on a bit of a
Really?
ends on a bit of a cliffhanger that
I played
has
New
not
Order,
been.
that's it. And
What's
I
up?
really enjoyed it. I only played New Order. That's the only one I really played. And
New
that
Order's.
was good.
I think New
That's
Order's my
really good.
favorite.
Yeah, that's a really good game, man. That's a really
And
good
honestly, with like the supernatural stuff in Old Blood, it kind of makes sense they're doing Indiana Jones because like Old Blood has zombies, and it's like Indiana Jones sort of has that like. There's always that supernatural
game. There is
twist.
that supernatural element to it.
Well,
right?
I guess
yeah.
not. Yeah, not always. No, they always do.
Yeah,
I'm getting
there's
mixed up with
always-
Uncharted because like Uncharted kind of fades in and out of supernatural and not.
Yeah, no, yeah. Indiana Jones always has some sort of like alien or supernatural.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Last Crusade doesn't, but then I realized that they found the Fountain of Youth.
Yeah, they found
Like,
the Fountain of Youth in that movie.
They found
Yeah.
the Holy Grail,
Yeah.
and they fucking Indiana Jones healed his father from a
Mortal wound.
mortal wound exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the
Um,
guy got turned to dust, right? He just
Yes.
he got aged immediately. Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
God,
Dude,
those,
that's
I
kind
gotta
of-
watch those movies again.
Bro.
They're so good.
When after I watched Crystal Skull, I went back to the older ones, and it was the first one,
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raid of the Lost Ark, bro. That ending where like people's skins melting and shit, that actually traumatized me as a kid.
It's pretty fucked up.
Really messed up. It
Yeah.
really is.
And I
like,
think the fact that it's practical
oh, it makes it so much.
makes
it's
it so much worse.
Yeah, it's insane.
I mean, back then, no CGI.
no
there
CGI,
was
right?
there
But
was
it
no
looks
there was
so
no
good.
computer
It does look
generated
really
imagery.
good.
The director actually melted their faces to get this. effect.
And like you can tell, it's like
Oh,
they've got like
yeah.
a mold, and I think it was like they melted it and then sped it up.
Yes. Yeah.
And so you can like when you see it now, it's like you can. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you can see what they did, but
Yeah.
it still looks pretty good.
I still love the one guy head that explodes, and you see the hands like flop away on the side because the hands, you can see them flop away.
Yeah.
It's really funny. It's really funny. But yeah, no, it's like that shit was really good. I hope that they do have more supernatural elements. I hope like what I do hope for is that they kind of lean into the campiness of what
Totally.
Indiana Jones was as well. Hopefully they lean into that. They don't try to go
Honestly,
super
and
serious.
New Colossus has a bit of that. Like
Okay,
it
that's
has
good.
that sort of like goofiness that I think Indiana Jones has
Mhm.
in moments, and I feel like a lot of people kind of try to forget about that stuff. Like there's
Yeah.
like goofiness in Dial of Destiny, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is cringe." It's like, man, go back to the original trilogy. There's some goofy
It's-
moments. Like
yeah,
there's some stuff
real
where
goofy
like,
moments. Yeah,
and I feel like that the new movie actually kind of perfectly captured that
Yeah.
the spirit of those old movies.
And
Um,
I think Indiana Jones leans really well into having different like set pieces and whatnot because you had like the tank scene from
Yeah.
Crusader. You had the airplane scene from Lost Ark. You had
oh, dude, and the airplane scene is fucked, man.
yeah,
he
it's
gets
messed
chopped up
up.
in that propeller, man.
Yo,
like he got
it's
chopped the
messed
fuck up.
It's messed up, man. Like there's some like real intense scenes. There's like you have so many car chases. You have the underground area and also Lost Ark. where, like, all the
Temple of
snakes and-
Doom
yeah,
with
Temple of
the
Doom.
minecart
Oh,
stuff.
yep. You have all that. So like, there's a lot of like, they can really take it and do like a lot of different set pieces that are original as well because they've already done it in the.
I was gonna say I hope it's not and here's the minecart scene, and here's Indiana Jones fighting a guy on an airplane that's trying to take off. And here's the part where the guy grabs the heart out of a chest. It's like, I want them to do their own thing,
exactly,
and not just kind of be like a nostalgia bait where it's like, remember this?
Yeah,
Sure, they can be references and stuff.
Yeah,
but...
I'd be okay with like one or two. I would be okay with like one where it's like, oh, like this is from the movies, but they should have majority original with maybe like one or two that's a reference to the movies.
Totally, and I think they will. Like, I don't think it's gonna be. I'm interested to see like one who's voicing Indiana Jones in the game, because
I can't wait for you to Harrison
you fucking
Ford.
know it's not gonna be Harrison Ford.
Dude,
you know his like last appearance of Indiana Jones is not gonna be a fucking video game.
A video game, yeah.
He probably got asked and he's like, no, fuck off. Like, I am not doing that. So yeah, I wonder who is gonna voice him, and I wonder like what era of Indiana Jones is gonna be. Like, is it gonna be young?
Do you think it's in between the movies? Do you think it's gonna be later on? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I think it's not going to be old. It's not going to be old, disgruntled Indiana Jones in like Dial of Destiny.
I could see it. Maybe like 6 months to a year after the third movie.
I was honestly about to say that. Like, it's just after the Last Crusade.
Yeah, don't worry about the next two. It's just after the trilogy. I feel like that's what I think that would do.
It could also be, it could be like young Indiana, like young, like the beginning of Last Crusade, like that year, like just after that.
Yeah.
Where it's like maybe his first adventure. I don't know. It'd be interesting. I'm very, very keen to see more about this.
They do. Hopefully it's not bad.
Hopefully it's not bad. I was gonna say it's not gonna be bad, but you never know, I guess. But Machine Games, they kind of pop off. They're really good at gameplay, and even story, to be honest.
Yeah, as long as it's not live service, I think they're good.
Oh God,
just you watch.
Yeah.
Oh man, imagine if it's like, you can get the Temple of Doom Indiana Jones skin and the Battle Pass in the Tier 100.
Grind for 15 hours a week to get your exotic.
Yeah.
Do your daily temple. Do the weekly raid where.
No, they wouldn't do that.
No, they wouldn't.
I have faith in the developer and the publisher to not make that decision.
Totally. And earlier this year, it's confirmed it's going to be on Game Pass, so that's always good.
Oh shit, that's awesome. That's great.
And it's Xbox exclusive as well. So.
Okay.
Good. Well, I guess I don't care either way. I don't care if it's exclusive or not. I'll be playing it on PC. Moving on, back to the DLC discussion. And this one's just for me. I know you guys don't give a shit, but I care a lot. Final Fantasy 16 is getting 2 paid DLCs. This is coming from Game Informer. Final Fantasy 16 producer. Oh my god, I just don't know. I can't.
Naoki Yoshida. We said this last time.
Yeah, I know. It's just I feel like I'm all out of whack, man. Announced via video that a free update is available for the game right now, alongside word the game is getting 2 paid DLCs. Yoshida also revealed that the PC version of Final Fantasy 16 is currently being developed at Square Enix. That is all we got. That is all the information we got about these proposed DLC packs. I feel like they're probably a couple years away from actually being released. But I'm so excited. So here's the thing. There is an icon that is not in this game. And the icons, we talk about this. They're the big motherfuckers in this game. And you get their powers. There's one icon that is dead, missing in this game, called Leviathan.
Ooh.
And I think one of the DLCs is going to be something to do with Leviathan. I think they could also do DLCs with some of the side characters. I'm excited to play more of this. And it's funny because I usually don't do DLC a lot of the time. Like, by the time when I finish a game, I'm like done with it. I typically don't go back. But this is one that I'm definitely gonna be, because usually Final Fantasy DLC kind of pops. So I think this will be worth checking out again. What about you? What about you guys? Do you think this DLC is gonna be?
I'm gonna skip the main story and go straight to the DLC.
Yeah,
just play the side stories that are completely out of context.
I will play this game eventually.
Wait for the PC version.
Yeah, I'll just wait for the PC version, and also like it's dropping $110 right now is not something I want to do with every other game coming out.
I mean, it's got to be cheaper now, right?
I don't think so, man.
No.
PlayStation Store.
I don't think so.
Especially on the PlayStation Store, it's definitely not dropping on there.
Well, that's all. That's where it is. It's the only place it is.
Wait, you not buy a physical disc?
Oh yeah, you can do that. I just don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can't.
Well,
Same
I
in the end.
can,
I
I can,
can't.
so-
I physically can't, but also, you know,
Yeah.
the environment and stuff, man.
No, they're making those discs no matter what.
That's true.
They're just sitting there.
I can't see
Nope.
the price of it because I own the game.
Nope, still 115. Still 115.
It'll go on sale soon. Christmas is coming up, you know, that will go on sale.
$90.
$90 instead.
No, it'll be like, well, yeah, it probably will be $90. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. It
Yeah,
probably
look,
will be
I'll
that.
play this. I'll play this game eventually.
It's so good.
Yeah, I know it's good. I've heard it's really good. I want to play it. It's just not right now.
The voice actor who plays Clive in this game, he will be getting best what do they say, best?
Best voice actor.
Well, yeah, but they don't say best voice actor.
Best acting in a video game. I
Best
think it's something
performance?
like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
best
something like that.
performance.
Best performance. Yeah, that's what. It is.
He's gonna get best performance this year for Clive, 100%.
Really?
I mean,
There
to
you
be
go.
fair, like I said this before, I don't think there's really anyone else I can think of that would be up for best performance. I'm sure a bunch of people will get nominated for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
But like
Yeah,
maybe
nothing so far has really stood out.
maybe Starfield,
Yeah, probably not.
Sarah.
The voice
Yeah.
acting of Baldur's
Maybe?
Gate
I don't
3
know.
is good, but like it's not Oscar nominated.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. No, yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. There's 3 people are getting nominated in that game.
Oh, they're gonna
100%.
get yeah.
Oh,
well, I feel like
honestly,
Carlac?
I think the actor who plays. Oh man, it's so tough.
the ones that I think, Karlach, Asterion, and actually I don't know if this is gonna be kind of a stretch one, but I feel like the narrator should get something because the narrator, man, narrator killed it. She killed it.
I
Like,
think 2 actors from Baldur's Gate 3 will get nominated.
Mhm.
I think it'll be Asterion,
Yep.
and I think Shadowheart.
Shadowheart. Oh, Shadowheart's a good one as well. Shadowheart's a good one. Yeah, I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that.
The thing with Karlach is she's really good, but she's also someone that you can completely miss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Good
so,
point.
like, you imagine when people are nominating for this category, like, there'll be some people who would have killed Karlach
Mhm,
in the beginning. Some people who would have, you know, like Nathan, who completely missed that character.
Yep.
So, like, I wonder if they even, you know, they're not even gonna. I actually, if you miss Karlach, does she show up or is she just
Nope,
like
she's gone.
really
Yeah, she's gone.
Dead.
interesting?
Yeah.
Okay,
she's
yeah.
gone.
So I mean that's why I think it's less, and it's kind of fucked up that that's the case. But I think that will be an aspect of it where people will be like, oh, they immediately get to know Asterion, they immediately get to know Shadowheart and Lae'zel to a lesser extent.
Yeah.
But Lae'zel's a bit, I don't know, she's a bit of a bitch. So I think
Yeah.
they shouldn't take that into account, but they maybe will because they're like, oh, I don't like this this
Yeah,
character,
it
so I don't
will.
like the
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do hope the narrator gets something because I feel like the narrator did a really good job.
I think
She-
honestly, she did, but I think she's gonna get overlooked. Because I think
Yeah,
it's easier to
probably.
immediately, and even like the player characters, the voices
True.
will also get
Oh,
overlooked, and that
good point.
typically does happen. The only, actually, I mean, I was gonna say the only outlier is Mass Effect, but even then, the voice of Shepard, Fem Shepard, male Shepard, I think they also got kind of overlooked in for
Yeah,
awards. So
but yeah,
yeah, the companions are always the ones that get the.
It's putting I think a lot. I mean, it's all people voting for it, so people are more inclined to vote for something that they can see and put a face to, and
yes,
you know, yeah.
that is true.
Totally,
Yeah.
That is true.
totally.
Yeah,
It's gonna be interesting.
Even though it's may not be the best, it's
Mm.
just how people be.
I'm really curious what the nominations for Game of the Year are going to be.
yeah. I was gonna
Like, how do
say-
you? They only typically have 5 nominations.
I was gonna talk
How
about
do
that
you
when-
whittle down 5 games this year?
Starfield, Baldur's Gate, Tears of the
Tears of the
Kingdom.
I was
Um,
going to probably
Final
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man
Fantasy?
2.
probably
You reckon?
Spider-Man 2.
Or-
Final Fantasy.
Do you reckon that'll be
See,
there, or do you reckon there's more
I think
better
that'll-
games?
So I think it'll be wrongly put in the best RPG category because I don't think it's sort of an RPG, but it's not really.
Yeah.
You won't win best RPG though. Baldur's Gate's kind of got that in the bag.
Ready?
True.
Ready?
What are your
Okay.
what are your guesses?
My last one. Gollum.
Gollum.
True.
Hear me out.
Maybe
That-
Alan Wake 2?
No. Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Alan Wake 2 is too late
Yeah.
because I think nominations seem to be in early November.
Gollum might get best performance actually.
Actually,
They should have gotten Andy Serkis to do Gollum.
yeah, and- yeah. No, but
Like put
yeah,
all
I
the
think
budget into just getting Andy Serkis. What were you gonna say, Seto?
It's hard to say. Like this game of the year is gonna be interesting. I'm actually very interested in how this game of the year is gonna work because
I think it's gonna be Starfield.
Yep.
Baldur's... And even Starfield's a bit like there's some really bad reviews for Starfield.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, people are hating, man.
Yeah,
there's
people are hating on
some
Starfield.
really
They
low
really
reviews.
are. People
Dude,
are
there
really
was
hating on Starfield.
the latest review that just came in today, 4 out of 10.
Jesus Christ.
4 out of 10.
This
It's
reviewer
not that
also this reviewer also reviewed Tears of the Kingdom as 7 out of 10.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I
Right.
think they're just
Man's a hater.
I think they're jaded. Yeah. Starfield will be nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate 3,
definitely.
Tears of the Kingdom,
Yep,
Spider-Man 2,
probably.
and I think Diablo 4.
Really?
Game critics love Diablo 4.
They do.
And I think the thing is a lot of the people that are sort of iffy on Diablo 4 now have played Season 1. Game critics have moved on. They played
That's
the story,
true.
they played the initial stuff, they really
Oh,
loved
yeah,
it,
I
and
see
they've
what you mean.
moved on.
Yeah.
So they
That's a good
haven't
point.
they haven't experienced the lull of Season 1 of Diablo 4.
That's a good point.
Because they've moved on to new games. So I
They
think
got
like
served
that
the good
initial
stuff.
and I think I would have also been in the same camp if I didn't play Season 1. Because like
Yeah, true.
I've sort of been like lessened on the game as I've played more. And that's kind of the negative, I guess, of live service games is that it's kind of up and down. Yeah, I think that'll be nominated. Or I mean, Hi-Fi Rush
Yep.
as well. I
So-
feel like that's easily forgotten. Resident Evil 4.
I think
Oh,
Hi-Fi Rush
Resident
is
4, that's
definitely
yeah.
a good game, but I'm not sure it'll be nominated for of
I
the
don't
year.
think. Yeah.
Any other year it would have been nominated, but
Yeah.
I think this year is just
It's just too
tough.
packed. Yeah.
Too packed.
For me, it's gonna be Golem,
Yep.
Redfall,
Yep.
Overwatch 2.
Oh yeah.
What other games that were bad
Imagine
that
if
came out this
Overwatch 2
year?
gets nominated for Best Ongoing Game. They've got like a live service game category. Best
Game
ongoing
Awards are
game.
dead from that
Yeah,
point
Overwatch
on.
Overwatch
2.
Dead.
No respect.
What a fall from grace. Like Overwatch got
Oh,
Game of
man.
the Year 2014. Game
Yeah.
of the
Holy shit, it did.
2016 got
Yeah.
Game of the Year.
Mhm.
And now Overwatch 2 probably won't even get nominated for anything.
Nope.
Well, you know what? It'll probably get nominated for best. Actually, I think it last year it did get nominated for best multiplayer.
I did
Ain't no way it does this year.
no.
Ain't no way.
I
Well, yeah. If anything, it'll get nominated in like best. I guess there's best community support, which is like the and best ongoing game of like the
Bro,
live service
come on.
categories.
Smoking
I was
crack.
gonna let you boys know. One of my friends, I asked one of my friends because he played the PVE of Overwatch. He played it.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Not good, apparently.
Mm,
Apparently
yeah.
it's not good
I
at
mean,
all.
is it comparable to the Halloween event?
Apparently it's like
That's exactly what it is.
no. Apparently it's worse.
Oh.
Worse.
Yeah.
That was pretty nothing.
There's boss fights though.
Apparently it's like super boring and it's really sad because apparently it's really easy. So apparently you just go into it and you're standing around for a really long time just pushing payloads, staying on points and stuff like that.
They love
and then
that
boosting
payload
your stuff,
mechanic. They
and
really
it keeps
do.
going to the next one, right? It just apparently it's super boring. Apparently it's really boring.
Yeah. Oh, man, it could have been so good too.
It could have
You
been.
know, like if Overwatch 2 PvE was gonna be like a Destiny style thing,
Oh yeah, dude,
I actually would have loved that.
it would have been so.
But
good.
instead, it's like it just got scoped down because
It got
I mean,
canceled,
it just
basically.
wasn't working, and I understand that.
I
that happens
Yeah.
hate
sometimes in development.
Overwatch, and even I was gonna play it.
Yeah, Nathan, you really do hate
You
Overwatch.
really
Like,
don't like
it's a burning
Overwatch.
passion.
Bro,
It's like
it
how much I
fucking
hate.
Sucks.
It's like on the equivalent to how much I hate Stray. For no reason. For some reason, that game just makes me angry,
It
and I
just
think it's
makes
because
you
of all the
angry.
good recognition it gets. Because I thought it was so middling. that
Oh
the
yeah,
more-
oh yeah.
You know, it's getting a fucking animated movie.
Oh my god.
What?
I haven't played
That's
it, but I
insane.
can definitely see it as me saying it's middling as well. I just like of everything
Yeah.
I've seen of it, it's not like I don't know.
The only
I-
thing it has going for it is that it was pretty. It looked
Yeah.
good for an indie game, and that's what everyone's like. Oh, look at the visuals of this indie game. It's like, motherfucker, there's more to it than just visuals.
I did buy it and I played it over.
You
when I was
buyed
over
it?
Sorry, I
You
bid
bought
and
it?
I bought and I
Oh,
got
I see.
PlayStation Plus,
Mhm.
and I played it over my sister's place, and my brother was my stepbrother
game?
was there, and I thought it was mid as well. I
It's
thought
just
it was okay.
it's charming. You
Yeah.
know, playing a cat is cool.
If you look at the Steam reviews, everyone is freaking out because he plays a cat. Like that's the
Yeah.
main reason,
Yeah.
right? And I said this to Chad. I said if you did not play as a cat, I feel like it would not be as popular.
Well,
if
yeah,
you
I mean
did
that's
not
all.
play as a
That's
cat.
what the game. I mean, here's the
Yeah.
thing. Like everyone says, I hate cat. You know, it's because I hate cats. I don't really typically like geese either.
Yeah, but
I love Untitled
Goose
Goose Game.
That's a good
Untitled Goose
game.
Game is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
That's a
geese
great
are
game.
fucking sick though. I love
Yeah,
geese.
dude.
Yeah,
Geese are where
but
it's at.
they're very annoying. They can be annoying.
They
You
can.
know,
but they're cute.
sometimes
cool.
they can just be angry for no reason.
Geese are better than cats. I've said it.
Yeah,
Geese are
honestly, we
very
should
true.
domesticate geese.
Yeah, we should.
We should have pet geese.
Pet geese are the
um,
bomb.
Yeah.
You just
That went
imagine
off
like
topic, didn't it?
it really did. But honestly, I will stay on the train of hating Stray.
No, I did not like Stray as well. When
I mean,
when
here's
that
the
got
thing. Like,
nominated,
it's not that I didn't like. I don't hate it. It's just I just thought it was so mid that when everyone's like, "Oh, dude, the best indie game," I'm like,
Yeah, the
"Oh,
fact that everyone was saying that made
It's
you
like
just
I'm like, no, I
yeah,
hate it.
get
I
a
hate it
whole-
more now because I'm like, oh, you're recognizing it for the wrong
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
that got nominated for best indie game compared to what other game was it? There was another game that was like clearly. Was it also nominated for Game of the Year?
No.
Yes.
No, it was. It
What?
was, wasn't it? Yeah, it was nominated for Game of the Year, wasn't it? Like compare, like wasn't
Yes.
that next?
So
to...
so I wanted, dude. So last year, it should have been Cult of the Lamb
Oh yeah, that's right.
or
yeah.
Neon White or Tunic.
Mhm.
I would pick any of those three any day over Stray.
Yeah, didn't he
Um,
get nominated Game of the Year next to God of War Ragnarok
I'm
and Elden
I
Ring?
want to say I think it did.
No,
I'm pretty
dude.
sure it did.
Best-
I'm actually pretty positive it did.
Hold
I
on.
remember that's what I got
Ain't
really annoyed
no
about.
Yeah. So the
way.
nominees for best indie last year: Tunic, Stray, Sifu, Neon White, Cult of the Lamb.
Damn,
Oh,
there's some
dude.
really strong competitors.
That was a
Dude,
fucking
Sifu
stacked
or Cult of the
category,
Lamb, man.
except for Stray. Stray was the only one I wouldn't say deserves it. Like
Bro, Sifu and Cult of the Lamb. One of the who won it? Who won it?
Stray won it.
Of course they
Stray
did.
won it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Stray won best indie game.
Bro, come
So
on.
game of the year 2022. A Plague Tale Requiem,
Yep.
Elden Ring,
Yep.
God of War Ragnarok,
Yep.
Horizon Forbidden West, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Stray.
One of these things is not like
Yeah,
the
that
Oh
is
my
just-
god! I just it's all there's always this weird thing where for some reason critics just they gravitate to the weirdest picks sometimes.
Mm.
Like I mean, no disrespect to Untitled Goose Game. Untitled Goose Game got like Game of the Year at like the developers
Really?
awards. Like developers
Look.
just fucking loved Untitled Goose Game.
I
It's good,
really
but I don't know
like
if it's
Untitled
Game of
Goose
the
Game, not Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And that was a stacked. Was that 2021?
No, it was earlier than that. Yeah, it was a while
2020.
ago.
It was 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 2020, right? Yeah, that was.
So it was up against like Hades and Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
And Untitled Goose Game got best game.
Bro.
Dude.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes developers and critics and publishers they gravitate to weird games sometimes that are like completely outside of the sphere of like us, you know?
I feel like it's because when you're
Us
in that
normal folks.
yeah, I feel like if you're in that sphere and you see games that are really hyped up, like God of War, like Elden Ring, but then a game comes out that's like, you know, that's a little bit charming, it's a little bit cute, it's on the side, you know, like Stray and whatnot. If you're in that sphere so long, you're gonna gravitate towards that game because it's different. You know what I mean? It's not this.
It's
big...
like a new it's like something you haven't seen
Yeah.
before because you've
It's
seen
Expectation
Yeah.
probably has a lot to do with it as well. Like they expect nothing
Yeah.
and get a lot out of it. It's like, oh wow.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
like here's the thing, I don't think Stray isn't a badly designed game. I think it's actually really well designed. I think it's just when I finished it, I didn't feel anything. I was just
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
okay,
like the
that was an
animations and
experience.
whatnot.
That was a
Yeah.
thing that I experienced, and then I moved
Sometimes
on.
it's not about the destination, Jamie. It's
The
about
journey was
journey.
also I wasn't feeling anything throughout the journey either.
No.
Like the height of that game was when there was a meow button and then I moved on. I was like, cool,
Yeah.
I meowed once and then moved on. Like
the,
I didn't.
Like the animations of the game is also great. Like the game is it's a
Yes.
solid game, just not game of the year.
It's really good actually. It's just that it's not. It's just very I don't know clean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no hard edges to it,
Mm-hmm.
and so it feels like it doesn't have much personality outside of just being
Yeah,
you're a cat. Like
yeah.
there's just not a lot else. There's not a lot there other than that.
But like, and yeah, if you compare this like Sifu, Cult of the Lamb, Tunic, you know what I mean? Those
And like
games
the gameplay is just walking around, and then the platforming is just pressing a button, and you automatically do. Like there's no. I feel like I wasn't engaging with the game. I feel like I was just
Yeah.
like
you're
I
just
was
going
like
through the
seeing
motions.
like the game was being played in front of me, but I
Yeah.
was just watching it. Like it didn't feel like I was actually like in control
Mhm.
a lot of the time. Like I don't know. It just it just didn't gel with me that
yeah,
much.
no, I wasn't a fan as well. I agree.
Anyway,
What-
After that rant,
Bro, we're still on the Final Fantasy 16 DLC topic right now.
man, people are gonna click on that and be like, "Oh, I want to hear what they say about Final Fantasy 16." Oh, they're talking about it for 20 minutes.
Really funny.
80% of it.
80% is talking
Wait.
about Stray, man.
I just imagine they sit there, they see the timestamp and it says Final Fantasy. They, oh, I'm really excited. They click halfway just to skip the middle. Like bro, Stray
Fucking
sucks, man. Yeah.
Anyway, Nintendo demoed Switch 2 to developers at Gamescom. This is from three reports technically, from Eurogamer and from VGC and some rando on Twitter.
Nice.
So I'll read part of the initial report and then we'll go from there. In Cologne last month, Nintendo's public Gamescom show floor booth let you play Pikmin 4 and Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's weird that they have that playable at Gamescom, Mario Kart. But anyway, I mean, anyone can just play it now anyway. But behind the scenes, the company had more up its sleeves. Developer presentations for Switch 2 took place behind closed doors, Eurogamer understands, with partners showing tech demos of how well the system is designed to run. One Switch 2 demo is a souped-up version of Switch launch title Zelda Breath of the Wild, designed to hit the Switch 2's beefier target specs. To be clear, though, this is just a tech demo. There's no suggestion the game will be re-released. So that was the initial report. Then VGC...
Were there any details about how it looked better or if it ran higher frame rate?
So there's more about DLSS and like
Yeah.
the actual specs of the machine, which should give some
Alright,
idea
alright,
of
alright.
well, yeah.
I'm getting in too early.
Yeah. VGC then had a report saying another source claimed that Nintendo showcased Epic's impressive The Matrix Awakens Unreal Engine 5 tech demo, originally released to showcase the power of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X in 2021, running on target specs for its next console, which is very impressive. Because that, I mean, I don't know if you guys played the Matrix Awakens demo.
Didn't play it, but I saw it.
It looked very,
Yeah.
very good.
Mm.
The demo is said to have been running using NVIDIA's DLSS upscaling technology with advanced ray tracing enabled and visuals comparable to Sony and Microsoft's current gen consoles. However, it should be noted this does not mean that Switch successor will sport raw power anywhere near that of PS5 or Xbox Series X, which aren't portable devices.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's obviously. I mean, obviously they're getting to that kind of that quality with DLSS, something that PS5 and Series X don't have, obviously.
Yeah, bro, I'm so happy that Nintendo's using an NVIDIA chip for
Yeah,
that.
dude,
Like, goddamn.
yeah.
This could be game changing.
And so there was another follow-up from Universo, who is a leaker that is usually very correct. Like when it comes to Nintendo stuff, they have a really good track record. So they said they believe the Switch 2 hardware, final Switch 2 hardware, will feature 12 gigabytes of RAM and ray tracing, and that the Matrix demo was using DLSS 3.1 and not 3.5 as initially reported.
Right, so that's
So
the
that is
one that is on the
Well, so
40
here's the
series.
thing, right? Yes. But the thing is that DLSS 3.1 doesn't necessarily mean frame generation.
Yeah.
Like DLSS 3.1 is just an extension of 2 that also includes frame generation in 3.
Yeah.
Because the way NVIDIA marketed DLSS 3 was kind of bad, where the super resolution technology is improved in DLSS 3, and the frame generation is additive to that, as well as the in 3.5 the ray reconstruction stuff as well. So it doesn't necessarily mean the Switch 2 hardware has the frame generation.
Even if it doesn't, though, it still boosts.
If it doesn't, still having super resolution is still a huge thing, which means you could run, you could technically run the game at 720p native, and it could be outputting at 4K, which would be very nice.
Maybe not 720p.
Maybe not. Well,
maybe
I mean,
that
you
look
could.
like dog shit.
Well, you could. I mean, it is doable. You could do it. It would look bad, but I mean, that's
It'd
what
be blurry
that's
on a
ultra
TV.
performance mode,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
On with DLSS. So I guess you could run it at native 1080p,
Yeah,
bring it up
1080 to
4K.
4K would work. It would still be a little blurry, but
which I
it would
think
look good.
is that's performance mode, right? On
Yeah, pretty sure.
yeah,
Because that's about half resolution.
yep.
Yeah. Usually 75% is kind of where you want a minimum aim for, but I mean, it's a
Yeah,
console,
which is-
so
yeah.
it is, yeah. It's fine.
So what do you guys think of this?
I
How
think
much
DLSS
of this do
on
you
a Switch
believe?
is exactly what I've always been wanting, because, it's a portable console. Can only be so powerful, and if we could just get some more frames out of it, that would be nice.
Do you think Nintendo's smart enough to utilize this technology? Like, for some reason, I can imagine Nintendo being like, yeah, we're going to use the latest like NVIDIA mobile chip, and then not use DLSS technology.
Yeah, that
just
would be
like,
very upsetting.
No, we are not using. We're not
'Cause-
using this.
Like it's outputting 1080p right now, the normal Switch, and
Yes.
obviously we've all been asking for it for a long time. Just I want something that can output 4K to my TV, even if it doesn't run at it. That's fine.
Yep. Just the UI
DLSS
being in
would
4K.
kill that. That is like exactly what it's made for.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually curious
if
because
it
like
does that,
yeah, man, I really want this to be true.
yeah,
I believe this. I definitely believe the initial report. I feel like as the reports go down, it's like it might be a game of telephone where it's like they're hearing these things, but it's like it whittles down to the point where it's like they're missing details. It's like when there was that report that the Switch OLED was going to be like a Super Switch with it was going to have the DLSS technology in the Switch OLED, and that was
Yeah.
not at all the case. Yeah, this sounds great. Sounds really good. I can't wait to spend $70 and buy another copy of Breath of the Wild because there's no fucking way that this is going to be backwards compatible and be able to just take over your game and have it be higher quality. There's no chance Nintendo does that.
yeah, probably not.
At the very least, I hope it is
But-
backwards compatible.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But they didn't backwards compatible the last one, so they owe us a backwards compatibility this time. So
Man, I really hope it could just be such a Nintendo thing to be like, we're not allowing your Switch games to continue on to whatever the next Switch is called. Like, man, that would be so frustrating. And I'd still buy
I think
it.
they'll run. I don't think they'll offer you the free upgrade.
The
for
free upgrade.
Yeah.
Come on, Nintendo. Just give me- even if it's a $10 upgrade, do what some of the what Microsoft and Sony did with some games.
No, they
Where it
won't
was
do
like
that. There's no way they do that.
They're definitely not doing it,
Yeah.
but you know, it'll be really nice. Very, very cool though. It feels like Nintendo's finally actually using technology that the, Sony and Microsoft cannot use, which is interesting. Like I feel like they typically are always behind the technology curve, but
Yeah, they could be a real competitor here.
they
Maybe,
really could.
you know?
It means that like when third-party developers, make games for the Switch, they don't have to make them really, really, really bad looking, like The Witcher 3 on Switch.
Retro games.
Oh, God, and even like Doom Eternal is on the Switch. I don't know how they even
Wait,
did that.
what?
Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal are on Switch at like 540p, 30 FPS, but they are
Damn.
there. You can play them.
Shit.
That wouldn't look nice.
Yeah, this is exciting, honestly.
for sure.
I'm all for. I love Tears of the Kingdom, but I am ready for a new Nintendo console because it is starting to show its age. It was honestly, even playing Breath of the Wild, it was like you
was
could
showing
still
its
see
age.
it was really pushing it, and that was a
Yeah.
launch title. So like, it's definitely time for something new.
Yeah.
And the rumor is that next week there's a Nintendo Direct, so
Okay.
I don't expect them to announce the next Switch next
no.
week, but maybe a little game that maybe they announce a game and they don't say what it's coming to, but it looks really good and everyone's like, well, I couldn't run on the Switch. Who knows?
Metro Prime 4? No.
Where the fuck is Metroid Prime 4, man? I
Yeah,
still need
dude.
to play one.
I've given up on it.
And
I'm just-
honestly,
it's fine.
they need to bring out Metroid Prime 2 and 3 on the Switch. That's got to be next week. If there's a Nintendo Direct next week, just release those two, bring the whole trilogy over.
Yeah, I might actually play that again.
That'd be great. And you
Yeah.
know that they're going to be separate $60, how much is
Yeah,
Metroid Prime
60.
Remastered?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be separate. They'll be
I'd
separate
buy it.
releases.
I'm a
And
simp.
a Metroid Prime simp. But yeah, that is the current Switch 2 rumor. Very excited. Will it actually happen? Let's wait and see.
Another Wednesday.
Let's move on to what we've been playing this week. Ben, do you want to go
Destiny 2.
first? Do you want to go first with your little Destiny
Yeah. So
stint?
so
Talking
I'm
about
gonna
this again.
I'm gonna go quickly, and I want to start quickly saying the reason why I've not been playing Starfield. Okay.
Fucking Destiny.
Yeah,
I
I
can't even
know.
imagine. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like I haven't been playing Destiny 2, but I've also played a bunch of Starfield.
Yeah, here's the reason why I have not really played Starfield after. Well, I played a little bit after we talked about it, but main reason is after playing Baldur's Gate for like that 60+ hours, I was really not wanting to get into another RPG. I was there and I was enjoying the game, but I was like, damn, I really don't want to get into another RPG. So since it's on Game Pass, I'm waiting, but I would play more. That's the reason why. But I haven't played Destiny 2 instead. I'm not gonna be long into it. I literally wanted to talk about the raid. That's it. And then you guys can talk about Starfield, because I know you guys really want to talk about that. Yeah, so Crota's End raid came out. We're gonna be doing today, Jamie. Oh, Nathan.
I also did it last night.
Oh, you did it last night?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Okay, well, I'll ask you as well. What did you actually? I'll start with you. What do you think of the raid? What did you think of it?
It's good. So here's the thing, right? Crota's End, like, it still feels like playing the Destiny 1 version with like upgraded mechanics, obviously.
You did it last night?
So here's the thing, right? When I hopped off at 10:30,
Yeah.
I was like,
oh, I'm tired, boys. I gotta go.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I was like, no, this wasn't planned either. I was like, oh yeah, I really am tired. But then I was like, oh shit, I haven't done the raid yet. And then I was like, you know,
I was like, wait, we played games last night.
Yeah, we did play games last night. And you know when I went to sleep? 1 a.m.
Yep. Okay.
Wait.
Nice.
Wait.
So I was tired, but I was like, I could go for a raid right now.
Nice.
I could just either I could go to sleep now, or I could just do a cheeky Crota's End. And I was like, there's no contest mode anymore. It's gonna be easy to do.
That's really funny.
So I did it. And I don't know how, because I was like, I'm going full on MIA off the grid. I don't want people to know that I'm playing Destiny like a fucking addict at 10:30 at night. And somehow Shadow found me out, and he's like, he fucking messaged saying, "Where's my invite?" And I said, and I was like, I don't know how the fuck how did he know?
Do you know why? Probably
Was he
because
scoping the
Destiny.
fucking LFG channels?
Yeah, he's got Bungie open on his other monitor.
Yeah, no, because even if you're offline inside of Discord, if you go to activities and you are offline, you still get seen. And so he probably saw you in the LFG
cyber
Discord.
stalking. He's cyber stalking me.
Bro is down bad. He had a feeling.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Man,
Bro, I literally thought he
antsy.
was watching the 200 LFG raid channels, waiting for my name to pop up.
You can see the inactivities. You can
Oh my
see if
God.
someone's in it, even if they're offline for some reason. I don't know why, but you can. That's how I know if Shadow's online.
I have to
I'll see his
unfriend
activities
Shadow.
in Discord.
I have to
That's how I
unfriend Shadow.
do
He
it.
can't see me.
So is that in is that in Destiny or in Discord?
No, if you go into Discord and you go to your friends list, there's an activities section.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
and if
yeah.
someone's even offline, you can still see if they're in channels.
Wait, so I can't hide?
No, you cannot hide.
Oh, you can turn off your game activity in Discord.
No,
that's
that's
in-
not.
that's-
That's
that's in
I
channel,
turned
that's
that
in
off. Trust me,
Discord
I was trying to fucking hide real bad.
So Jamie was in the Destiny
A
LFG
channel.
Discord. He was in the Destiny LFG
Oh,
Discord,
I see.
which
Yeah, I see what you mean.
shows up
Sorry.
in Discord.
Yeah, I get what you
that's
mean.
what happens.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
And that's
yeah.
how he know. That's how he knew.
And I felt like I got fucking caught in the act. I was like, oh my god,
He cheated on
how
him,
does
bro.
he
It's
know?
like-
How does he know? And then I told him the raid room, and I said, hey,
Bro,
and
you
then
need
it
an
filled up.
alt.
And then it filled up.
Yeah,
It
use
filled
your
up,
own.
and
Use
then-
your other one. Use your other Discord.
No, I'm pretty sure Shadow's my friend on that one too.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
are.
we-
Anyway,
You're
it
in
was
the
just
servers.
it was a chance experience where I was just like, I don't want to look like a fucking addict at 10:30 after saying I'm really tired. Which I was really
Yeah, bro,
tired.
that is straight up addict behavior.
Yeah, like I actually was tired, but I was like, man, I just want to start getting my fucking necrochasm. Like, you know what I
That's
mean? I
really
just started getting this
funny.
fucking
I'm just
exotic.
gonna ditch this hangout session. I'm gonna go home and do some heroin.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so I
Oh,
did.
that's
So I
great.
did the raid last night. Yeah, after we played some Halo Infinite. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The team that I was running with were completely fucking degenerate idiots.
Yeah.
It took way too long doing the path like to get to the bridge. Took way too long. And I was able to, because here's the thing is, I don't want to be the person to be like, oh guys, it's my first time doing this. I don't really know what I'm doing. So I did the typical people fucking hate, where I was like pretending that I knew what I was
know
doing.
what to do. Yeah,
I
yeah.
had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing, I pulled it off. And then at the
Bluffed
end, I
your
was
way
like,
through it?
in the Crota encounter, because at that point I'd shown that I was actually not completely dog shit, and I was like, yeah, actually, this is my first time. How do we do Crota? And they were very shocked that I didn't know what I was like. This is my first time doing it.
Funny.
But yeah, no, I really liked it. I think the thing with raids in Destiny now is that I just wish there was a middle ground between contest and normal mode.
Yeah.
Where like contest to me is like, I don't want to spend like 16 hours or 24 hours or 48 hours doing a raid. But then normal mode, I don't want to clear
Yeah, don't
the
wanna
top
breeze
level
it.
content in like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, I don't want to
Like-
breathe it, right? Yeah.
I just want there to be like a balance, or even have contest mode be available
Yeah.
afterwards, where you can get some extra rewards or something. I don't know, like. Because
there is
I just feel like
master mode.
normal mode's too easy, where like to
There
the
is-
point where I didn't even know the encounters at all, and we were able to get through it with
Yeah,
you
what's
know.
master mode then? I was about to say that because I remember that was there.
Well,
Or is
master
that
mode is
Not
just
there straight away.
master mode is normal mode, but there's more
Mechanics.
champions.
And
Oh,
mechanics.
yeah,
There's
that's
different
right.
mechanics as well.
Yeah.
Mechanics that changed.
Oh, they
The
do?
mechanics don't
Just
change.
Slightly. It's not hard. But
Well,
they just make
no,
the
I
mechanics
mean
a
if you do the
little bit-
challenge, it's different, but
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
the
Yeah,
mechanics
yeah.
are the same, and it's
That's what I'm saying.
and I think yeah, no, that's the only difference is that there's more, and obviously you're lower light, like
Yeah.
they're higher.
Comparatively, yeah.
So it is a medium between contest and, but I think in sometimes master mode's harder than contest. Occasionally with like
Bro,
yeah,
champions are fucking annoying.
They are
and
really
this
annoying.
raid got a lot of champions.
Yeah.
They got a
Got
lot
a
of
lot
champions,
of
and more than I'd say they show up more often than other raids because
Especially
I feel like.
bridge encounter and has a shit ton of champions.
But the thing is, on normal mode, like I just fucking gallied them, and it was
Yeah,
easy.
right.
Like,
I
it's-
just walk in with my hammer and I just bonk them on the head.
Oh yeah, you can just bonk them.
Yeah, I just bonk. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed this raid.
No, I
I'm
enjoyed it.
excited to do it again. I'll probably run it 2 more times this week on my last 2 characters because it's a fun raid,
It is.
and it's not too long. Which
no, yeah.
I know is sort of
I
like
do
hypocritical to what I just
enjoy-
said, but it is nice to just get through it easy. Like after you've done it once, like I want
Yeah.
I want the
No,
first
yeah,
time to
yeah.
be difficult, and then afterwards, like it gets easier. Obviously, when you learn the mechanics and
Just want
stuff.
to grind the
but-
content.
Exactly.
Usually, I'm usually quite judgmental on like the repeating what do you call mechanics, right? Like I usually either hate or repeat the repeating mechanic, or I really like it. So like for example in Garden of Salvation with the tethering and how that coming back, I fucking hated that. That was shit. I did not like that at all.
Yeah,
But
me
the
too.
chalice in Crota, I do like this as a mechanic that they constantly bring back
Me
in
too.
every single one.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good one because so basically how it works, Nathan, is there's a thing called Chalice of Light, and when you hold on to it, there's a meter that fills, and then after
yeah,
you
I've
have
seen you
10
guys do it.
seconds,
Yeah.
you have to pass it off, right? Or you die.
Oh, I think I've probably played one of the raids with that before. or at
Chalice
least
of Light,
It's a
Maybe
new
not
thing.
maybe not a raid, but some sort of activity with it.
There are similar things where you've
There
got to
are
pass off something
similar-
after a
yeah.
timer. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
but the thing about this one is when you pass it off, you get a thing called an enlightened buff, which allows
Yeah.
you to do.
Oh, I've
certain
definitely seen you guys
mechanics.
play it.
Enlightened
Yeah.
is
Something with it.
yeah. So the enlightened is in another raid as well.
Yeah,
it's just
that's
a different
Is
mechanism.
it enlightened in Garden?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a garden thing, right? Yeah.
It works a little differently in this though. When you're enlightened, you can you can speed up the plates. Obviously.
Yeah, you can speed up the plates. You can. do
what else is
damage.
the enlightened for? Well, you can't get across the bridge without being enlightened. as
Yeah,
well.
you need to be
Well, you need
enlightened.
to pick up the sword.
Oh yeah, to
bridge.
pick up the sword, you need to be
Yeah.
enlightened to like light the lanterns, and it's just.
I really like that
basically-
too with the lantern encounter.
Yeah, the lantern changes are really good. You can't just speed run through it anymore. You actually have to light all the lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot because it also incentivizes teamwork. Like basically, your entire team has to kind of get involved with it, which I've always liked.
I didn't.
Don't,
No,
yeah,
I didn't.
You,
My
don't-
team
you don't get
didn't.
involved.
I
I'm pretty
picked up the
sure-
chalice like twice.
I'm pretty sure. For the first encounter, 4 to 5 people need to be doing it to get around because of how the debuff timer you get. You need to have 4 or
So
5
we
people doing
did
it.
on for the lantern encounter. We did skip a few. We didn't do
Yeah,
every
you
single
can.
lantern.
You just need to put it
Um,
in the preserve. You need to preserve it.
Yes.
That's all you need to do.
And I had to pick it up like once on the run that we actually did.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
Yep.
too bad.
But yeah, no.
It's a pretty
overall-
easy raid.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the raid. It's pretty easy. It's definitely harder than Crota's End in D1. D1.
The original
was a
Destiny 1 version.
breeze.
Well, you can do it solo.
Yeah, but this one.
You could Nathan. So people actually figured out how to do Crota's End, the raid, as a solo player,
Fuck.
doing all these
D1,
encounters
in D1.
in Destiny 1.
You can do that in Destiny 2.
It's
You can do
not
that in
possible.
Destiny
You
2.
can 2-man it though.
You can 2-man it. You cannot solo it. But yeah, no, I did enjoy this quite a lot, and we are gonna run it today. Nathan, you can actually do it with us. It's free.
Free?
You can do it with us. Yeah.
Free
yeah.
raid.
All you need is a sword. Really, that's all you need.
I'm sure I got one of those somewhere.
Got one
Yeah,
somewhere.
all
Yeah,
you need is
yeah.
a sword. Really, that's all you need.
Yeah, and honestly, like the damage checks are really not too
Really
bad at
easy.
all, and
Yeah.
Right,
it's,
'cause
it's,
yeah,
it's
usually
actually a
that's where I run into
very
issues.
it's a very accessible raid, I'd say.
You're a hunter, aren't you? You're a hunter.
Yeah.
Oh, just give you Star Eaters, you'll be fine. that's
He
your
doesn't have
damage
Star
output
Eaters.
then. Yeah. Well,
I
Nathan,
definitely
you don't have
don't
Star
have
Eaters?
No,
Ah,
Star
damn
Raiders
it.
is something you have to get for Lost Sector.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Okay. Well, you can still use.
That's
This is the
alright.
classic
Right.
thing of me playing Destiny. I'll just
Yeah.
put this
Oh,
on. Yeah, I don't have that, bro.
it.
Yeah.
But put this
Oh,
on.
okay,
I
use
don't
this
have that
then.
either.
I don't have that.
Don't have that.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. It's
I'll
okay.
pull
can
out
just-
this
I
year
mean-
one gun.
But yeah, it's a fun raid. I'm excited to run it more.
run it again, yeah.
I'm probably gonna end
but-
up doing it 3 times a week for a little bit on
Yeah.
my characters because it's a good time.
All right, you guys do your thing. I'm gonna sit
You've
back
played
and watch some YouTube.
Starfield. You can interact with this.
Oh no, I'm gonna watch some YouTube while you guys.
Watch some YouTube. It reminds me of when Luke and Nathan and I did a podcast
I was playing
years
Skyrim.
ago, and Nathan just pulls out fucking Skyrim and starts playing it in the background while we're doing the podcast.
Well, that's great.
It was a good time.
So Starfield,
Speaking of
Yeah.
Skyrim,
yeah. Speaking
of
of Bethesda
Skyrim.
Game Studios and their games, what do you want? How do we want to tackle this, Nathan? Do you want to go? You wanna
I'd say it's probably a 6 out of 10 at best. That's all I got to say.
go? Yeah, I think it's a 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
So the thing with Starfield is it's interesting, right? Where I don't think this is the best game of the year, but it is my favorite game of the year.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, to be honest.
Where like it's crazy how the more I play this game, the better it gets. And I haven't really like a lot of games you sort of peak, and it starts to plateau at a certain point where like you sort of understand the game and it's like, okay, there's no newness at this point. Like it's just you even in Tears of the Kingdom, like you get the newness of like the shrines,
Oh.
but
How many hours this guy's played?
Yeah, this guy's.
this
Bro,
is
he's got 4 of those C-class engines.
this is
They
an
cost
hour-
$60,000 each. Those
This
engines.
is an
He's got
hour and
4 of
45
them.
minutes into his playthrough. I don't know how he has
What?
this. I don't know how he has this.
No, he's
an
versing
hour
level
and
45 ships.
fuck?
yeah.
It's part 1 of the
What?
playthrough.
Is this a New Game Plus? Is he New Game Plus? Is that
No.
what he's
No, you
doing?
can't even get that quickly in New Game Plus.
Really?
Did
Yeah.
he steal the ship?
No, that's
can-
a really good ship.
But you can't fly it without the license.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how. I know how he. Okay, I know how he has this. When you sign up for the UC, you do a simulator.
Oh, okay.
You do a ship
yeah.
simulator.
I was
where
like,
you go,
bro, that ship is like
'Cause
$300,000-$400,000.
I did this, and yeah, you get this as the yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. See, like he's doing the he's getting.
That's
doing
why
the
he's still in
pilot
his
exam.
mining outfit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, like I just feel like every time, like every hour of this game, I just find something new or do a different quest or upgrade a perk that drastically changes like how I play the game. And it's funny, like I've seen a lot of people say, you know, like Baldur's Gate 3 ruined this game for me, right? Where it's like Baldur's Gate 3 is like the ultimate RPG. Where I think they have different answers to what player freedom is.
Yeah, they do.
For sure.
Where like Baldur's Gate 3 is its version of player freedom is in its discovery and story choices you make and the character you play in the main story. Whereas Starfield is the player choice is like what is this man
Bro.
doing? Running up.
Scared
Why
the shit
are
out
you
of
doing
me.
this weird like shuffle?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's the
sprinting.
Bethesda NPC syndrome he's got.
Whereas like Starfield is almost like a space life simulator where like you really can live in this game and you can be like, you know, I'm going to be the smuggler. I'm literally my whole job is going to be smuggling contraband to the settled systems and making money that way. Or I can literally join up with a drug ring on Neon and produce drugs and make money that way and get really good. And you know, if you really want to, it's probably not the most interesting experience, but you can do that. Like you can just
Good
make
money,
money
though.
off. It is good money.
Really good money.
Or you can just be the bounty hunter and you can just go to the bounty board and go around the settled systems and collect bounties and make money that way. And so you can literally like have a job in this game. And it, you know, obviously you probably don't want to do that necessarily, where like it will get repetitive and you will get bored by it eventually. But you get to do these like stints as these roles in this world.
You get like
and
10, 20 hour stints of, depending on what sort of quest line you've got. but
totally.
yeah,
You
like
could be the
minimum.
planet surveyor. You could just be like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go around and discover new life and new flora. And then make outposts on these planets and then start mining and then sell the materials that I make. And like you could have like a mining operation if you really wanted to. And so it's like the main story is almost like the catalyst to where you want to go. It's not really like the main driver, I would say. I really did enjoy them. So for reference, Nathan and I have both finished the main campaign.
Yeah.
I'm on New Game Plus. Nathan hasn't moved on. Well, you did for a little bit.
Yeah, I actually finished the first New Game Plus, but decided
Right,
to go
that's
back
right.
and stay
You went back
behind.
to your first save. Yep.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people at the beginning when the reviews are coming out were saying the best thing to do is to race through the main story and go into New Game Plus. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I don't think that's actually the way you should play this game. I think the best way to play Starfield is to find something you really enjoy doing, whether that is joining a faction or building up your perks to be able to do base building or ship building or whatever, and then just stick to it for a little bit, and then sort of do main missions as you want, as you find them, and if you really want to like pursue that. The thing with Starfield for me is that I felt like I was role playing in this game in a way that I haven't in other games, where in like Baldur's Gate 3, for instance, I wanted to do everything. And realistically, that doesn't make sense for my character to be like, oh, I'm going to help this old woman
The world is ending, but I'm going to do
while
this now.
I have this parasite in my brain that's going to transform me.
Yeah.
And there's people that are taking over this brain, and the world is literally going to end if I don't do this now. And that's like, I mean, that's like canon breaking, right? Like, it doesn't make sense for my character to be like, oh, yeah, I'll go to this side thing and do this while, and sometimes there's moments where it makes sense, but for the most part,
It's
it
hard
would
to
make
get that
sense just to
narrative going.
continue to push the narrative forward.
Yeah.
And so Starfield, for my character personally, it made sense for me to push through to New Game Plus, because of things that happened in the campaign, and like, it's in a way where I was like, well, my character wouldn't do that. Like, my character wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna go survey this planet while there's this really important thing happening in the campaign, and then something happened in the campaign, and I was like, well, my character's gonna desperately try to move on to New Game Plus to do something differently than what I did in the main campaign. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know I'm trying not to spoil it, but it's like something happened in the story based on a choice that I made that pushed my character to speed, like to for me as my character to book it to New Game Plus. And so it made sense for me. It doesn't make sense for everyone though. And so now I'm trying to, because I obviously on this New Game Plus playthrough, I do want to do every faction, do all the things. So I've sort of playing my character as if they're going through like a midlife crisis, and they're trying to find what they want to do in this new version of themselves.
I played the Simp storyline.
Yeah, Nathan played the Sim storyline.
I did everything for
where
Sarah.
where he's stuck in his new game, his first playthrough, because
Yeah.
he's dating Sarah, who's one of the companions in the game.
Not dating, bro. We're married
Well,
now.
Yeah, and you're getting that XP
Married?
bonus in the
Yeah.
bedroom,
Hell yeah, baby.
You do get an XP bonus. What is it, 15%?
Yeah, you get an extra 5% when you sleep if you sleep with your partner.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a farm right there. Easy.
Yeah. So yeah, our characters are just taking different journeys.
Yeah.
Because
I was okay with the thing happening that you're talking about, because
And I was not okay
chose
with
to, Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not
Like,
safe scumming in this
shows
game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. This in Baldur's Gate 3, it felt more imperative to, if I want to play the good guy and be the hero, I need to pass this check. Starfield is not. You don't have that thing where you don't
Yeah,
need
because there's
to.
no RNG. It's like all up to you.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like if you fail a persuasion check in Starfield, it's not going to go catastrophically wrong. Like, you're not making a lot of choices as to dictate where the narrative goes in Starfield.
Yeah.
You're sort of instead of like making choices in the narrative, you're making choices as your character in the world. And it's just a fucking great time. It
It's a real role-playing game, I think. It's like
really is.
an actual RPG.
And I think it's crazy that people have said like Starfield's shallow, or like as
don't get that.
big as an ocean but as shallow as a puddle. It's like, I just don't see it. I really
Personally,
don't.
I find when you really start to get to know the characters, they're actually quite deep. And Jim and I were talking about that last night. They will reference things that you talked to them about like 20 hours ago, and like really specific stuff. The actual choice that you made to say to something, and they'll be like, "Here's the thing that you said back to me."
Yep.
And it's crazy how much detail they've actually gone into with like different options of like the characters saying things. It's crazy.
Like I gave a character advice, and then later in the campaign, the character gave me that advice back to me, like
Specifically,
as
yeah.
but like to kind of dictate my journey. You know what I mean? Like it was advice that I'd given, but was then important to me later on, and I was like, oh fuck, like this is like really, really, really good, and I feel like more than, and I'm so glad I made my character just me. Like my character's name in the game is Jamie. Like it's just me. Like I am this character.
Yeah, Vosco says your name, so it's important.
Exactly.
I knew he
exactly.
would.
And I feel like like in Baldur's Gate 3, like I made like a goth chick, like a goth GF,
Yeah.
because I was like, this is a fantasy. Like I'm not trying to put myself in this game. But in Starfield, I was like, I want to be like, it's like I want to just be who I would be in this space game. And I feel like it's been really rewarding from that aspect. Yeah, I don't know, Nathan. Where are you at in Starfield right now? Like, what are you working towards?
So I've been quite a different person in my game. I've been the kind of goody two shoes explorer with Sarah.
Because you have to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of my negatives. But anyway, you keep going.
Yeah, well, yeah, as the companions, but it is what I wanted to do anyway, so that's why I'm keeping her around for now until I decide to do something different. I'm getting pretty deep into the planet exploration and outpost building, and like ridiculously deep. It's insane. I didn't actually realize how deep the outpost building was until I saw it. Turns out it's a Factorio Lite with a whole art RPG on top of it. You can like create mines and import things into like one place, and then put the imports into like a manufacturer, and then that manufacturer's a product, and you can make another product.
It's straight up
and
automation.
then you can,
Straight up
yeah,
automation.
it's
Jesus.
insane. Yeah, I didn't realize it was that deep, but it's crazy.
You need to keep Shadow away from this game.
Yeah,
Because the second
man.
he discovers this shit, it's over.
yeah. I spent probably 100 hours into base building in Fallout 4, so I think I'm probably gonna lose my life to this one. I could see it.
So what I'm doing now is I can do outpost building now, but I can't optimize it to the extent that Nathan's optimized it, because he's built into some perks in the science tree that I haven't. And to get to that point, I would need to play like maybe
Yeah, you
another
probably
50,
need another 6 levels.
50 hours to get to like that far down the tree. And so I've actually been doing a lot of the faction stuff. Like at the moment, I'm spending a lot of time on a killer, which is kind of the Wild West space western kind of planet, which I love this location. Like it's one of the 3 main cities in the game, and I just adore the space. I love the atmosphere. And I'm just doing missions there. So I'm helping out people with like
the free rangers.
the free rangers,
just
free
started
star
doing that.
rangers. And I'm just like helping people out with like, hey, my farm, this woman had like these like Marines came to her farm and were going to take it over, and I went there and tried to persuade them out of it, and they were like not having it, so I had to started a gunfight. And it's going deeper. Like there's like I found like a slate on them that mentioned like that there's a guy on the inside, and so I've got to find out who in the Freestar Rangers is like supplying the guns to these people.
Yeah,
and,
that mission goes a lot deeper than I thought it would. Like it
and
really
that-
goes
and that- I think
detective. Yeah.
that is the full. I think that's the main chain of the Freestar Rangers. Like
Yeah.
it's the main quest line for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how deep it's gonna go, because like
But
the
every
thing-
time it's like more evidence, more evidence, more evidence. Go deeper, go deeper. Yeah.
the thing with the faction quests is like you would think that you're getting close to like a climax, and it's like no, you've got like 3 more quests or 4 more, and it just keeps going deeper and deeper. And then those faction quests, like as you're doing them, you'll hear someone mentioning something, and then it will pop up automatically like, oh, you've got an activity. And then it's like, talk to this person. And then you think like, oh, it's just like you can have a conversation with them and that's it. But then that spawns a mission, and then that and it's like, I don't know how many quests are in this game, and I don't think I'll ever see every quest just based on the way that you discover those quest lines.
Yeah.
Where you just have to be kind of in the right place at the right time for that person to mention this thing, and then it pops up for your activity, and then you go from there. Like I was like a chunks delivery service for a little bit, where a guy like on Titan, they needed the special sauce. They were like, oh, we keep running out of it because people love this fucking special sauce. So then I traveled to Aquila, which is where I joined the Freestar Rangers while I was there to get the fucking special sauce because there was the bank robbery happening, and I was like, oh, I'll help them out because like it's pretty eminent. So like, I'm just going down like 7 to 10 different rabbit holes constantly to get these quest lines, and it's like there's never a dull moment where you don't go to a settlement and nothing's there. Like, that's just not really how the game works.
What I really love about the powers that you get is it doesn't feel like you have to get them all at once. Like, you can obviously keep asking what's his name in the eye and being like, oh, where's the next one? Where's the next one? You can just come across them. Like the second you jump into a system and it's there, it's like, oh shit, you found
the
one.
Power here.
Yeah. And I really like that it's like you can really slowly get them all rather than having to like specifically try and find them. You just do them when you find them.
Yeah, this game really isn't checklisty.
Yeah.
And on Bethesda games haven't really been like that. Although there was like, I'm trying to think on the Skyrim map, there were like points of interest that would direct you.
No,
you would just like
you
walk
only have
past it and
yeah, you only ever had locations that you discovered and quest markers. That was it.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just an extension of what they've done previously.
Yeah.
And I think the only negative I have, or one of the big negatives, is encumbrance.
That's fair.
Because like I've never liked encumbrance, but it feels to me especially bad in this game. Just because there's a lot of stuff you want to collect, whether it be armor sets to sell or weapons to sell, and they just take up a lot of space. And like you just don't. I've maxed out like weightlifting, and I still feel like I don't have enough mass to hold everything that I want to hold. And I know that's a matter of just inventory management, but I just think the inventory management in general is not great. Like the UI needs to like I know there's already mods for it, which I'm probably going
Bethesda
to.
games will always have a mod in the first week for.
And it's like it kind of sucks that they haven't learnt. Like they've already it's been an issue in their games since like Fallout 3 or even maybe Oblivion.
This UI gives me Skyrim UI vibes, which was terrible, and you basically cannot play the game without the Skyrim UI mod.
Yeah, it's like I wish some of the quality of life things they'd thought more deeply about that stuff.
Yeah.
Before release.
It's just a little too basic, I think.
Definitely, and it just like there's just weird things where it's like a lot of the time I'm just sorting by all, and then you can sort of sort stuff by like name and value and stuff, but then I don't know. It's just a bit cumbersome, I think. And it's just I've gotten used to it after like 50 hours, but I can see that definitely turning people away like immediately. Like if they get like within the first 10 hours, they're just like, this is like a complete fucking mess. Like especially when you haven't built into weightlifting and you've only got, I think you have like 100. Is it just 100 or 110 mass?
Yeah, I think it's like 110ish. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like nothing. Like that is so like at any point I have like 150 minimum mass. Just
yeah, I think my
also
minimum's
like
100 at the moment.
Because it also
Weapons.
like the weapons you carry and the armor you have on count to your mass.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I don't like that. It would be a lot better if when you're carrying certain things, it doesn't equate to your mass. It's just literally what you're carrying, not what's equipped. Because I don't know. It's like I've got at all times, if I take everything out of my inventory, I have 50 mass all the time. And it's like, okay, that's a quarter-ish of my total mass. It always feel full, no matter what I do. So yeah, it's just that stuff like that is just, it's a bit cumbersome and a bit annoying.
I had to build into outpost building just to deal with that.
Exactly, and I
got,
feel like you shouldn't have to do that.
6,000 or 7,000 mass worth of stuff sitting in my outpost right now.
Yeah, and I do, obviously the Baldur's Gate 3 way of doing it, where you send stuff to your camp, isn't the most realistic.
Yeah.
But I think if you could send stuff to your ship and then even to your outpost, would be nice.
Yeah, I do like the way that No Man's Sky does it. And obviously, No Man's Sky is a bit more sci-fi.
Sure.
So it's not like the realistic science that this game uses. But the way that No Man's Sky does it is you can transfer things to your ship if you're within a certain distance, and you can expand that distance if you get upgrades.
So you can transfer stuff to your ship if you're in a certain distance.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. It must just be very close.
You have to be very close
Yeah,
to the point where you might as well just be.
Yeah. Okay.
One thing that's annoying in New Game Plus is the ship that you have. You got to walk up that ramp every time.
Yeah, bro. That annoyed me within 5 minutes.
It's a little bit annoying because the ramp's it's a very big ship that you get.
That ship actually isn't that great. As soon as I started actually fighting with it, I was like, oh.
It's not great for fighting.
Yeah.
It is great for storing because it has 1,200 space.
Significantly worse than the ship that I had before I went in.
Yes, I am definitely looking to build a ship soon. I think I'm going to make it. I think the ship I'm going to make is either the Millennium Falcon or, which is not going to be a fighter at all. It's going to be mainly cargo, or the Normandy from Mass Effect. Because I saw someone make it and it looked fucking really cool. So I kind of want to make that. Yeah, oh yeah. So another thing I really don't like is how everyone in, I thought this was paused, but it's just someone sitting in space. Everyone of your companions, way too judgmental. I want there to be like a someone, and I know you said Vasco is that person who won't judge you for whatever you do.
Yeah, everyone in Constellation is judgy.
My character's an extrovert, so they can't. I need a human companion with me. And
yeah.
Sarah, God love her. She is such a fucking bitch. She's way too judgy.
I made a decision on Neon today where the Freestyle Ranger was like, don't fuck with the status quo here. Like, we have respect between us. Our job isn't to enforce the law, but to stop the violence. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I won't make a mess. And she's like, you're going to put down your responsibility as a Freestyle Ranger for that? And I was like, yeah, come on.
It's like it's only she's bad only when it suits her. Other times she's just like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Like I had a quest on a killer. Because she's my companion at the moment because I haven't found anyone else yet. And I'm not sure who my companion, possibilities in New Game Plus will be. Where this person they wanted to hack into a terminal to fix, because they would put down data, like data nodes to work out like alien activity on the planet. But to access it, they need to hack into a terminal. And I just said, all I said was, oh yeah, I'll help you. Like, I'm not going to hack the terminal, but I'll help you get this data. And she was like, you're going to help this person hack into the Freestyle Rangers terminal? And I was like, motherfucker, she has to. We need to work this out. We need to figure this out. And then it turns out someone was fucking with the data. Someone was fucking with it. We needed to hack the terminal because we had to find out who the motherfucker was.
That's classic Sarah.
I was like, man, Sarah, you are way too judgy. Way too judgy.
I'm not sure that we've come across the companions that don't care as much yet. And I know they're definitely out there because I watched I watched a video and they mentioned it and they showed a couple of them. There are ones that like it when you do bad things. There are ones that don't give a shit at all.
Like I do wonder if you join like the Crimson Fleet, if you get a Crimson Fleet motherfucker as your companion, but then I'm going to be on the opposite side of it, where I'm making good choices. They're like, oh, you're a pussy, bitch. What are you doing? Kill them.
That will happen.
And so it's like, I just want someone who's me.
The ones that don't care are Vasco and the ones you pay for. But even sometimes they will have some decisions if you make really bad ones.
I don't want to whore people out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the companion, like that's the thing that I really enjoyed about Baldur's Gate 3 with the companion system, which I think is better than how it works in Starfield.
Oh yeah, sure.
You can persuade people to be on your side.
Yeah.
Which I think makes a lot of sense to be like, yeah, you probably could persuade your companion to be like, hey, I mean, look at it this way though. Like there's almost like there's no way to influence your companions. It's just
once
like,
you make a decision, it's like, no, you're shit.
How they are when you meet them is how they're going to be when you end the game. Like they don't change at all, and they're not influenced by your actions in the same way that Baldur's Gate 3, like you make sweeping changes to how these characters act, and it felt like it was more personal in that way, where my version of Asterion is different from Seto's version of Asterion.
That's true actually.
It's different from Shadow's, whereas my version of Sarah is the exact same as your version of Sarah. Like,
and it feels especially weird because my character's married to Sarah right now, and I'm making these decisions, and she's being all judgy with me, and I'm like, calm the fuck
even
down.
Though you are dicking her down on the daily. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you should be... You should be able to like, talk to your spouse and influence them and,
You're like,
and
okay,
vice
this
versa.
is why I did this. Yeah.
You are digging her down.
We gotta fucking edit that out. No edit. I just wish there was a little more of that
Yeah.
with the companions.
Totally understand why they didn't, because that is a huge undertaking, and that's a lot of what Baldur's Gate was.
Totally.
But yeah, it does feel a little, I don't know, not finished, maybe like basic.
It's just,
Yeah.
I think both developers had different answers to player freedom, as I said at the beginning, and I
Yeah.
think they're both the right answer. They're just different.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
there was like I saw an article. I saw a headline from like PC Gamer that was saying like, Baldur's Gate 3 is the next generation of RPGs. Starfield is a something about an awful step backwards. I was like,
What?
man, I don't know what the fuck you're
Hey,
talking
yo,
about.
nah, bro.
People are high.
I think it's honestly like rage bait. I can't even imagine anyone playing this game for more than 20 to 30 hours and saying this is like a step back for RPGs. Like I just don't understand that.
It's a great
perspective at all.
RPG.
It really is. Like, and it's very similar to 2015 when Fallout 4 came out, where Witcher 3 came out that same year and kind of rained on Fallout 4's parade.
for
This
sure.
is to a lesser extent because I can respect both of them for different reasons. And as I said, Starfield is my favorite game this year. Like, I love existing in this world. And Baldur's Gate 3 I will return to at some point. I mean, we've still got that co-op playthrough that we'll do at some point. But I just kind of want to exist in this game more. And it feels like there's more to do.
Feels like
post...
you're playing a character more. Like, I don't know. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Like, once I finished Baldur's Gate 3, I was like, this was my character's journey, and the only like a second playthrough I would have to be the complete opposite of what I was. Whereas in this game, I don't feel like making a new character. Like, I'm just gonna persist and be Jamie in Starfield. Like,
Yeah,
that's
and just do different things.
exactly.
Yeah.
And at some point, in a couple of years' time, I'll run a new game again and just start again, and go from there and do different things and be the bad guy or like maybe immediately go straight into. And the good thing is your perks carry with you, so like you can get to the high end, you can get to the high level stuff quicker.
Yeah, I really
The
like
more new game
the
plus
new game plus in this game. Like a year or two down the line, when I want to start a new game in this, I'm not going to restart. I'm going to go new game plus and just keep
Totally.
going. Yeah, I think that works really well.
I felt like Danny DeVito in It's Always Sunny in that season finale of like season 13, when it's the meme where he's like, I get it.
Oh yeah.
Where when I got to New Game Plus, I felt like I just understood the design of this game in a way that I didn't previously. Where like the narrative and the journey you go on is like completely in line with the design of the game.
Yeah. No, it is really good. And
I think it's
like,
honestly. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do like that it gives you reasons to go and to stay. And it's not just like some why would you not go kind of thing. It's like, no, I like legitimately have good reasons to stay.
Totally.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I had reasons to go, and
Yeah.
like
Because most games will just be like, why would you not go? Like, you're an idiot.
exactly.
Yeah.
And also other games would be like, why would you reset a lot of your progress? Like, why would it's stupid? Why would you not
that's
stay
true
in the
too. Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what people find in New Game Plus 3, 4, 7, 10. Like,
Yeah, I reckon there's some really good ones
there's
out there.
there's stuff that just happens in like New Game Plus 5 that's different
just
from
later on.
the base game or New Game Plus 1 or 2. Like,
Really interesting.
We don't want to spoil
it's
why.
I can't
but, yeah, 'cause
wait
you're
to
not
talk
that
about
deep.
this game
Yeah.
when it's where a couple months removed and when the spoiler, the gate of spoiling is over and you can
over,
talk
yeah.
about it, because like I don't know how deep it goes, and it may not go deep. It may be pretty shallow. Like, it might just be
References. Yeah.
references or a different one conversation that's different on New Game Plus 4 versus 5 or whatever. But who knows? Who knows what they've hidden in these New Game Pluses, and who knows what they add? They might add more later on. Like,
Yeah.
they might go deeper into it. Who knows how the DLC is going to impact what?
What if the DLC is like you go
I
New
d-
Game Plus to get
it's-
the DLC and you
it's
start
another,
into the-
it's a new
yeah.
game plus, but that's the deal, the DLC. Like that's
I'd
what I'm
like that.
saying. Like
I'd like that.
I honestly, I saw someone say that they want 10 expansions for Starfield, and I was like, yeah, give
It
me
would work.
like, and you know, I mentioned this yesterday, like how depressing it is that we probably won't get a sequel to Starfield for like 20 years. Don't make one.
Yeah,
Just
just
keep
keep making
adding to this
content
game.
for it. Yeah.
Keep adding do fucking yearly expansions to Starfield, man.
Yeah.
I'll play that shit all day, every day. Because like it's such a great like it's a foundation, but it also feels like a fully formed experience, obviously. But there is the opportunity for them to add so much to this game and just be like, this planet has a new quest line on it and a new settlement that we've added, and then it completely opens up the star systems, and maybe the settled systems expand over time, and like you know, right now it's in these
I
three
assume that's what
four
they're going to do
pockets.
with the DLC, but yeah.
Maybe we explore the Varum, you know, colony or whatever. Like we I don't think you can find where they chill in this game, like where
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
A lot of stuff I haven't looked at yet.
Exactly. There's still so much. Like we're both 50 hours into this game, and I mean,
100 hours experience in Starfield.
like I honestly think like I've kind of reckoned with the fact that I'm not going to finish this game. It's not really finishable apart from finishing the campaign. It's not really finishable. Like you just kind of keep going until you feel like you're at a point where you want to stop.
Yeah, it was like that for me with Elder Scrolls and Skyrim and
Sure.
Fallout games as well. But those are definitely more completable. This one is pretty much impossible unless you start Googling where to find shit.
It's funny with like Fallout 3, which was basically the last Bethesda game studio, apart from New Vegas, but that wasn't BGS. Like I felt like I was finished with Fallout 3 when I did the main story, a lot of the main quest lines, and then the DLCs that came out afterwards. And then I felt like I was done, where I didn't feel like I wanted. You're not really living in Fallout 3. Like it is
No.
very quest based.
Yeah.
Whereas
sure.
this game has so many supplementary things apart from just questing. Which is where I think the difference is between Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield. Where Baldur's Gate 3 is very much that traditional RPG where it is about the questing. Where like you're not really living in Baldur's Gate 3 to me. You know what I mean? Like you're not picking up a job or traveling.
Yeah.
Like you go from zone to zone, and they even block off zones as you go through the acts. Whereas in this game, like you can go to the mining planet that you first start in this game and see what's changed and what's different. And if anyone,
You can find enjoyment in really mundane shit,
exactly,
which is rare.
totally.
How many games do that?
That's what I say. Like you can actually live in this game and it not feel like you're wasting your time or like there's no proper way to play this game. Everyone is going to find different things that they kind of gravitate towards. Like I know someone who's I follow on Twitter. He's just doing all the shipbuilding, and every couple of days he like redesigns his ship to optimize it in different ways. And I'm like, fuck, I haven't even done any
Where's he
shipbuilding.
getting the money for that?
He's fully in. So I think how he does it is he's fully put into the perks into the shipbuilding, and then he just runs board mission, like the mission board missions.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And those range from go survey this planet to go. There's a Crimson Fleet ships, that are causing havoc over this star system. Go fuck them up. Or there's a bunch of pirates that have taken over this abandoned science facility. Go there and kill them.
Yeah, the infiniteness of this game is kind of crazy.
I will say I have already seen duplicated areas. That was
I have. Yeah.
quicker than I anticipated, but there's still cool stories in those abandoned areas. Like this is the science facilities look very similar, and I think even
Which
the
makes
outline,
sense.
and there is a reason why
Yeah.
it makes sense. But like the last thing I'll say about this game is that so I went to a star system. I saw a ship just in orbit, just chilling there, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll hail them and see what they're doing. Maybe they're selling stuff. And I went to hail them, and it said like it failed, like I couldn't hail them, and I was like, that's weird. And so I boarded the ship, got on the ship, and there's just a bunch of dead bodies everywhere, and I'm like,
Creepy.
okay.
And you
what's
would never
going on?
even come across that normally.
It's a random event, right? And there's just a bunch of dead bodies here, and I'm like, that's weird. I keep exploring a little bit, going through, and every few seconds, the artificial gravity turns off.
Oh yeah. I
And
think I
so-
felt something similar. Yeah.
And so like all the objects in the environment just lift,
Mm.
and like you lift off, and then when you shoot your gun, you go back. 'Cause
Yeah,
of
I
the
really like
propulsion.
that they added that in zero G.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
that's really
pushback.
cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool. I like that a lot.
And as I get deeper into the ship, like it's a big ship. I find pirates that are just here scavenging. And I've found these terminals around the place, and they're giving me clues on like what happened on this ship, basically. And like
Is that the
how
one with the
people,
families?
yes,
Yeah.
and
Got
they
that
were
one.
like, my kids, we don't know the effects of kids being in space for too long, and like all this stuff. And it was just this, and then you find out the ship is like they're studying like flora and fauna, and they've got a bunch of habitats of plants. And I was just like, this is just a random thing that Seto, you may never find. You might never find this ship. You may never dock it. You might never find the pirates or
And
the
some
fact that the
developers
zero
spent
G.
months doing that.
And it's not a quest. It's just a random event that
Yeah.
you can find when you grab drive into a system.
Mhm.
And I was like,
And you can miss it so easily.
the DNA of Discovery is very much, because I've seen people say like, oh, this is like the Discovery is not how it used to be in BG in other Bethesda games, and it is different. But going on that ship, I was like, this feels like how when you go into a random dungeon in Fallout 3 and you find like a robot who thinks he's a human. Like it's like the random stuff where it's like this is like not everyone is going to find this, and that feels special inherently just because it's like you feel like it's more individual and more tailored to your experience.
Oh, I really liked. Have you come across that random encounter where you find those people who were coming from Earth?
I
The
haven't,
generation ship. That's cool.
haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
And
There's
like
a cool
even
side
things like
mission.
that they showed in the trailers, like there was like a party cruise. I haven't found that yet. I saw someone who was at a resort, like a summer resort. I have not
Paradiso,
found that.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
have
cool.
not found Paradiso yet.
Mm.
Yeah, there's like so much stuff that I still have to explore, and I'm 50 fucking hours into this game. And-
Yeah, I think it could easily be 1,000 plus just exploring. It's
And
crazy.
then when you're done with that, you can be like, okay, new game plus. Let's see what's new.
Yep.
Let's see what else I find. Let's see who recognizes who I am and what's going on. You know, like who. Yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to not spoil, but like, yeah, it's a fucking cool game, and I can't wait to play more.
Very good
Okay.
game.
Very good game. Will it be my game of the year? We'll see. As I said, any other day I'd be like, oh no, Tears of the Kingdom is my game of the year. Oh no, Baldur's Gate 3 is. Oh no, Starfield is. It's
I
like,
still think Tears of the Kingdom is a better, technically a better game,
As I said,
but I'm getting
yeah.
more enjoyment out of this.
That's why I said it's definitely not the best game this year, but it is my favorite game.
Yeah.
For sure. So it has been a while since we have done a check-in on the Fantasy Critic.
It has been. I haven't looked at it since last time we looked, actually.
Yeah, I've
And
not
so
looked at it in a long time.
I thought we could give it a cheeky look and see how it's going. So I can't. The last time we saw it was before June, I want to say.
Yes, it was.
And so since then, I was in the drain, man. I just after fucking Redfall had come out.
You had Baldur's Gate though, didn't you?
So that's the thing is
Well,
like
that was
since
it.
then,
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate.
since then, well, we'll look at Nathan. So Nathan, since June, you've had, I don't know. Oh, you Pikmin 4 and Diablo 4, right? They were new.
No, we saw Diablo 4 already.
We saw Diablo 4. So you've got Pikmin 4. No, wait, we didn't. Oh yeah, it was the beginning of June. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so you've added a bit. So you're at 128 at the moment, which is good, respectable. You still got a lot to go. Like you can
Yeah,
see, like in the
little.
upcoming, like it's like boom, 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 boom. Like you've got 6 coming up. And then yeah, so obviously I've had a lot of games come in since last time, and yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 helped a lot.
Yeah, that was.
It's
that
got 32 points.
32 points. Holy
32
shit.
points on Baldur's Gate 3. Armored Core 6 did well.
Oh, yeah.
Starfield obviously doing well. And
There's no way you're not winning this.
And
No,
Viewfinder.
yeah, and you have so many games
Sea of
coming up as
Stars
well.
was a good one as well, 89.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you've still got Alan Wake 2, Cyberpunk DLC, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
and Like a Dragon and Mortal Kombat 1, which is next
Yeah.
week, and then
No.
Super Mario RPG. I picked up Super Mario RPG because I was jealous that you got Super Mario Wonder.
So you're not.
You've still got one.
You're winning this.
I mean, we'll see. Because
You've
here's
got
the thing, right?
4 massive scoring games.
Yes, but I also have Risk of Rain Returns. You know, that's still there.
Counterpick.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I'll lose points on that if it comes out this year, and I still think it will. Because I'm curious. I'm looking at Risk of Rain Returns, just seeing if it's coming out, and they tweeted out on beginning of September saying, "Check it out later this year." So it is coming out.
Yeah.
Unless something tragic happens. You know, we'll see what happens. See what goes on. And then Seto.
I'm falling behind here. A lot of my games, man, they are not returning, but it's games I'm passionate about. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've got it a few. Oxenfree did okay, 78.
Okay. I thought
On
it was gonna
Guard,
do better, man.
77.
I thought that was gonna do better, man. I thought
Blasphemous 2 did well, 84.
Blasphemous 2 did well. I was very happy with that. I am gonna.
And you've still got Ghost Runner 2, which is confirmed coming out this year. Gunbrella's coming out next week.
Yep.
Wizard with a Gun is in
Wizard with a
October.
Gun coming out.
And then Hades 2, I
Don't know about that
not
one, man.
expect
I
that.
have about 4 games on my list that are probably not going to come out, but I've not said they're not.
I mean, hey, who knows? Maybe Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you got kind of unlucky with that shit.
I got
Yeah.
really unlucky, man. When I saw the announcement, I'm like, yes, it's coming out this year. No, it's not coming out this year.
I have gotten lucky. Where like
Yeah.
a lot of my games have dates. The only one that's not coming out this year is obviously Hollow Knight. But the rest is, unless Alan Wake 2 catches a delay, but we'll see.
Yeah.
No, it's looking good for me, but
Yeah.
who knows?
You're winning.
The projected points.
You're winning.
It's 36 ahead of Nathan, but
I've got the next best games below you, and I'm losing right now. So
Yeah.
well, yeah, but you're only but you're predicted to get 200 points projected.
I don't think that prediction means anything.
No, I don't think prediction means too much.
Well, it's just like this. Like, it thinks you're going to get 14 from Forza Motorsport, which you're actually going to get more. 10 from Assassin's Creed, you're probably going to get more than that. Liza P, I think you're going to get more than 11. Like, they're actually conservative estimates.
Yeah.
You're going to get way more than 73 on June Spice Wars.
Well, yeah, it's already got 85 at the moment, so something like
And
that.
then Mario Wonder is going to do more than 11. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, these
No, but
estimate
I
is...
just completely ignore the predictions. I don't even
Yeah,
look at
I
them.
usually do as
I'm just
well.
looking at what I know what I know they're probably going to get, and the games you have are going to be way more than the games that I've got.
Oh, yeah, but we'll
And I'm
see.
40
Maybe
points below you.
I mean, I think Spider-Man 2 is actually going to get 85. So it's locked in.
You think
Hollow
it's
Knight,
gonna
I'm
get
not.
85?
13 points of mine aren't even real because Hollow Knight's not coming out this year. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, but I don't look at the predictions, so that doesn't mean anything to me.
well, yeah, but I'm like, it's pretty accurate to what it will end up being, right?
I mean,
And
differentiation.
if anything, less than what it's going to be, which means that you guys are
I would
I've got
say
more chance.
I would
of
say the
my games-
differentiation between us is accurate, but not the score itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Seto gets more than 171.
No, that's what I'm saying. The points aren't accurate, but differentiation between us is probably
Yeah, I
accurate.
think 30
Yeah.
points are like difference between.
60
maybe
points
not,
less than
maybe
me?
not literally the points different, but like percentage wise between us, I would say that it's probably pretty close to what it says. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. I think I'm gonna win, right? Like, I mean,
Oh, you got the
You are
lineup.
winning.
You
I
have
will.
the
I will. I
lineup,
mean,
like-
unless something bad happens, like who knows? Like,
I think if
Risk
something
of
bad
Rain-
happens to any of those big games that you have, it's not going to be negative
Enough.
points.
Yeah.
How many I'm 163. Seto's second with 137. So even if Risk of Rain Returns came out tomorrow and had a 90, 20 points, I'm still ahead of Seto.
You're still ahead.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
okay, yeah.
But then it's also 20 points on my end as well that I get.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. But you are going to lose points to Liza P.
I will lose points to Liza P. That is correct.
That's coming out soon,
That is coming out soon.
and Nathan's going to gain points off that too.
The one risk that actually paid off. I think
Yeah,
that's
the
the
one
only
risk.
risk that I took.
Yeah.
I feel like I didn't take many risks. I feel like Seto took all the risks.
Yeah.
Oh, when I grabbed Dead On too. Where's that? Hey man, I got points off that. I got points. That's 75. I got 5
I
points.
was
off
thinking
it.
more of like the games that were nebulous and like had
Oh,
no
true,
chance of having
yeah.
a day.
Oh,
like
no,
Hades
yeah,
2. Like I guess Hades 2. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, I didn't pick
average.
anything that had TBA on it.
Yeah, no. I did take a lot of risk on mine.
although
Counter-Strike 2.
Oh yeah, no, that was super recent. I was like, yeah, that's
Yeah, you picked it up. I think immediately after the podcast.
and this one just happened to be unfortunate because
Yeah.
Yeah.
it had a date, but it wasn't a real date. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't realize that that's how the game. Well, yeah, I didn't realize at the time that that's how the scoring worked for this, where it was like, or how people even reviewed games, because I don't look
Yeah,
at game reviews.
same.
Yeah, because if you go to Kerbal
Yeah.
Space Program.
It's got like 3 reviews, I think.
What a photo.
2
One
reviews.
review.
Okay, yeah.
One scored review, but they're so they're not a top critic. So this only takes into account top critics.
Yes, yeah.
So this wouldn't even equate to the score.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is interesting. It is interesting, especially with some smaller games where they just don't get picked up by big review sites or anyone. So
I think it will when it comes out of early access, but yeah, that's probably like 5 years from now.
yeah, exactly. Probably when it comes to console.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
But yeah, that's the update. I think the next one will be end of November.
Yeah,
Which will probably be locked in at that point.
That'll be locked in
That'll
at
be
that
the
point.
end.
There's no
That should
really
be it.
We don't have any
games,
December games.
Yeah.
Although Seta, Avatar games right there. You got a game that's not coming out, Hyperlight Breaker. So
Oh, true. I can get
you
rid
could
of
you
that.
can replace it.
get
I
that
can't replace.
Avatar game.
Do I want to grab that?
Better than Skull and Bones,
Yeah, true. I'll grab the Skull and Bones, definitely. That's the pick.
surely. Okay. Are we ready to build the 100?
We
Yep.
are. It's gaming time.
Sweet.
It's
It is
gamer
gaming
time.
I'll go first this week. Although I don't have a game in mind. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Gears of War 1.
Mhm.
I think that is a very good game. That yeah, I really fucking love Gears of War. And also, without Gears of War, there wouldn't be many cover-based shooters. Kind of
True.
standardize that.
Where's it
I bet I
going?
know we don't talk about like the industry stuff, but where's it going? It's not gonna go too high. I'm gonna put it at 66. I think it is a respectable game that has stood the test of time. That I really, really enjoyed. Really good co-op game too. All right, who's next?
So there you go. I've got a man blowing right next to my house.
Oh yeah.
can hear
The
it.
game I'm putting on is I'm gonna put on Journey. Have you guys actually played Journey? You have? Yeah. Okay, good. I want to make sure. I was gonna say we never actually really talked about Journey before. I've never really
Journey's
talked
really
about
good.
it. It's a good game. It's a good game.
It was like in 2012. It was between like Journey and Walking Dead season 1 for Game of the Year.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, I only actually played that recently, and yeah, no, I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was really good. It's a really chill game. It's really nice. Again, I'm gonna put it. I'm stuck between 2 spots. I think I'm just gonna put it at number 79. I'm not gonna put it too high on the list.
Jesus.
Yeah, there are some games on the list that I think it can move higher, but I am looking at doing a couple of rearrangements, and that game is good to get pushed up when I rearrange some other games.
Confirm Bad Company 2 better than Journey.
Yeah, dude.
There it is.
I don't know if I'd say that.
Yeah.
I definitely would have put Journey higher, but
Oh, no,
I
Journey's-
respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, it's because there's some other games I want to move around first, and then Journey's probably gonna get moved with them. So yeah.
Okay, what do you put on the list, Nathan?
All right. So this is a different choice, not so
Okay.
much for the game itself, but for the community that it created and the content that the people made for it. I'm gonna put Gary's mod on the list.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
For some reason, I thought you were gonna pick Eve Online.
Fuck no.
Like, I love those articles when they talk about these wars and the espionage.
I was really heavily considering putting Gary's mod. I didn't know if I wanted to, but yeah, no, Gary's mod is a good choice. Gary mod is a good choice.
I'm gonna put that. Not too
Isn't
high.
it crazy that Gary's mod on the list and CS isn't?
Yeah. I still agree with that.
Fuck you,
kinda
Counter-Strike
agree with
players.
Because like we played so much Gary's mod in high school and just out of high school.
Oh,
like
dude.
Love Gary's mod.
insane.
Gary's mod is so good, man.
It
It's
is
so
a
good.
time.
The
That
community
is-
freedom you
we're-
have with Gary's mod is
It's
insane.
87 games on the list now.
Yeah.
Go
we
damn.
have what, 3 each? 3 more each?
4 more each.
Yeah.
4 more
Plus
each. Okay.
plus a combined one
yeah,
last
combined one, which we need to discuss.
one. Which
soon.
I still have one in mind, but
yeah.
we'll see.
So we're each gonna bring
And
a game?
actually, it might
Do-
even.
Do we want to agree? Yeah.
It actually, I think it's gonna line up really well with.
Because it'll be about the
something.
time we want to add it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's actually gonna.
No,
it's
I
actually
was
gonna
thinking
work
about it this week, but I'm like, no, I haven't played that much of it yet. So yeah.
out. Oh,
Wait,
I'm not.
you're
thinking
not
of that
talking
game.
about
I'm not talking about
Starfield.
that. No, I'm talking about something else.
What are you talking
I'm.
about?
Have to wait and see.
Must be a game that comes out later.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Alan Wake.
Spooderman.
We'll see.
We will see.
Very good.
All right. I forgot
right.
that I got to outro this thing.
Yeah, you got to outro it.
Thank you guys for hanging out. Well, fuck, I'm so out. I am so out of whack, dude.
Cut.
Why am I
Alright.
so
We'll do that again.
fucking?
Pull it back in.
Can we do another take? Jesus.
I was like,
Take
"What?"
two.
I love it. Thank you all very much.
I don't make cuts in this
I just, like-
podcast. You don't pay me enough to edit that.
It was
Good.
like that, it's like that senator that just fucking completely
Yeah,
froze in
like,
front
yeah.
of the mic.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for hanging out and checking out 71st hour, episode 31. I don't know how to outro this thing. Why have I forgotten? We'll be back
flow,
again
man.
next time
It's
with another episode that fucking Seto will be hosting because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. See you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.